animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome aboard to the largest safari vehicle in the world. Your sunset bumble is about to begin through the African bush, and we are chilling with our monitor lizards at a very cold and bleak looking dam. The sun has not popped out at all today, but that's okay. It's not raining. It's winter, and this is to be expected, and may mean that the animals will be moving, so it's good news. Good afternoon, my name is Lauren, and Johan is with me on camera, and we've just noticed that one of the monitor lizards over there has got a nasty looking injury. You can actually see, oh, poor soul, you can see the flesh. What bit your tail off? If we can just go a bit closer to the tail, Johan, and show everyone the injury. But just a reminder, everyone, this is live and it is interactive. So please do talk to us. All you need to do is head over to the website, and as long as you've registered, you'll be able to submit all your questions and comments. And we would love to hear from you. Ooh. What do you think got this guy's tail, everyone? This is a fresh-ish looking injury. What happened to you? Oh. Anyway, it's not just me out and about today, it never is. There's a whole team of us making this happen. Cedric is back out again, thank goodness. Rusty finished with her meltdown, and they are now back out in Juma. We have Andrew down in Madikwe, and we do have Tess over in Amakala. So hopefully it's going to be a wonderful and diverse drive all around. There's no sun. These guys probably hardly have any energy. I'm not catching that at all, FC. Ross, it probably will affect it because they use their tail as a powerful rudder when swimming through the water. So you can see there's quite a substantial part of that tail missing. They do have really long tails, even longer than the length of their body, and it's packed with muscle. And when they are in the water, they're the water monitor lizards after all, they really do use that tail side to side to get them across the water. If you look at their claws, they've actually got really sharp nails. So that's for giving them traction on land and also for digging when they need to lay their clutch. So that the hands and the feet, if you like, are for land. So getting through the water, that's why they're equipped with that tail. So to be honest, the injury's open. I'm hoping it can heal. If we can just take one more closer look at it. But I think it might be a struggle powering them through the water. It's definitely been bitten off. By what? Well, that is a good question. But as I mention all the time, animals are resilient, and as long as infection doesn't get in, it's very common to see animals heal. Tracy, no, I don't. It won't grow back. The skin will of course heal just like ours when we cut ourselves. Obviously there's different stages of healing. So it won't go back, absolutely not, but hopefully it'll close and heal nicely. And I mean, there is still quite a large piece of muscle there. I'm hoping that this little lizard still will be able to power itself through the water. What a shame. If you just look at where that's cut off, and then if we just go to the right, there's a much smaller lizard, but look at that long tail. It dips right into the water. We can't even see the end of it, actually. That's how long it is. So there's quite a big part missing on this bigger one. There was 3, but the other one's disappeared. Oh, it's still there. We just don't have a good view of it. This is a tree that I use to sort of indicate the water levels in the dam. But of course, we can see right now it's still very full. And there was a leopard around here this morning, so Cedric and I are both going to try and just work the area for a little while, and then I may go to the good old hyena den. Why not? I've already told you it's a chilly, blustery afternoon here, but let's take a look at the weather across all locations.
Good afternoon, greetings everybody. Welcome. It's so nice to see you all joining us on the Sunset Safari this afternoon. We're out at Madikwe Game Reserve, and by the way, my name is Andrew, and I have my good friend Paul who's behind the camera. Hope you're going to see some cool things this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing what the reserve has to offer. Awesome. So, we're busy watching some impalas in the meantime, but there was 2 kudus here as well. They got shy all of a sudden and they moved off. But many of you will remember this morning this weather system rolled in very quickly, and it was very cloudy at one point and cold. And we even felt some drops. We were worried that it was going to rain. But look at it this afternoon. It is totally clear. It is amazing. Apart from the wind this afternoon, I think it's going to be quite a lekker drive, a good drive to go out. Beautiful. So these impalas, we often find them along this road. This is one of the roads where we see a lot of these antelopes, not only impala, sometimes kudu as well. Sindidi, good afternoon to you as well. I'm glad you joined us this afternoon. Always nice to see all of you. So this road that we're on is actually an interesting road, very, very interesting road, because before Madikwe was a game reserve, remember this was cattle farms or farms. I don't know if it was cattle farms, but I know it was farmland of sort. And this very road that we're on would have been a road that took them to the settler routes, and not the settler routes, the trading routes and so on. Back in the day, I don't know how many years ago that was. It was quite a good number of years ago. But yeah, this road was used historically as a trading route. Now, not far from this very road, roan antelope has been seen, more towards the south of this road, but good to know. And sometimes when you drive along here, you just never know what you're going to see. Some impalas just ahead, also crossing the road. Beautiful. So I think our afternoon plan, a good plan this afternoon is to maybe catch up with the mahiwas. I know at least one of them was found this morning, and we're going to go see if they're still around there. But I got wind from one of the field guides out here, Peter, and he mentioned to me that they went over a small hill a big hill or a small mountain, if you will. So we'll go see if they've come down from there. I'm sure they have. And then we had a lovely time with the female cheetah this morning, and cubs. Was undoubtedly our best view yet this morning of that cheetah. That's one of the things out here at Madikwe Game Reserve that, when you are looking for some of those bigger type animals, you're going to come across a lot of the smaller type animals. And one of them is definitely impala. Remember, always just take a moment just to enjoy them. Look at them very well. Get yourself a good pair of binoculars and just watch them. And you watch how they delicately feed off the plants. It's amazing. And how neat and tidy they seem to be. Very graceful antelopes out here. Now another antelope that I've only seen once out here, but it's so common out in the Amakhala Game Reserve area, and that's red hartebeest. I was very lucky with Mpo. We managed to see some red hartebeest out here. Last time I was here, I got to see some springbuck, but they have vanished. And we think we know why. The female cheetah with cubs has been using that as her hunting ground for some time now. And so the springbuck population has dropped drastically. Kimati, that's a good question. How do you spot a nervous impala? So the first thing is first, they'll all be facing in one direction and twitching and turning, and you can see that they wouldn't be feeding. They would all be looking and staring in one direction, sometimes even giving alarm calls. This pretty strong sound that comes out their nose as an alarm call. And then, of course, they run. As soon as there's a predator around and they feel that they're in danger, then they spring off and they really run very fast, and they bounce through the bush, and they head off actually towards the semi-thicket line, where they're able to jump through the open parts of the thickets, even if those open parts are slightly high. And because of that, they're able to really escape predators. But what's interesting is sometimes they see predators, but they don't feel in danger. We saw this the other day. Lions were eating a buffalo, and were gorging themselves, and they were full, they were rolling all over the place, and the impalas came and grazed right next to them. When I say right next to them, 30, 40 meters, but that's close enough. So sometimes they don't feel that threatened.
Do you sometimes imagine what WildEarth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee, and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
Now, impalas are also very good indicators of the environment and rainfall. That's another good indicator. Now, bear in mind that they have a 7-month gestation period. And impalas are very good at giving birth in the rainy season. That's when they prefer to give birth, because there's a lot of food and resources around and cover for the lambs. So the usual rutting season for impala should be March, April. That's the usual time. But we do see in environments where rain is expected to arrive late, then impalas shift their rutting season. Then they can start rutting a little bit later than expected, so they can give birth later. You see what I mean? So that they can meet when the rainfall comes. That aids them very much in survival, because if it's raining and the environment is lush, it means there's cover, and it means that there's food. And the adults are going to be eating that nice rich food, and they're going to be producing nice rich milk. And as the lambs grow, they can hide in the cover, and they can eat the nice lush vegetation when they start feeding.
Well, nice way to start this sunset safari. As you can see, we've got a male elephant that's pretty much tucked in here in these tamboti thickets, and he's enjoying the tamboti tree quite a bit, and it's nice and green. Perfect time of the year to feed on those leaves. As you can see, it's still quite a green tree for the year. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me here on Rusty, we've got Odie. So thanks for joining us, and it's nice just to get out this afternoon. I'm looking forward to this afternoon's sunset safari, and well, this is a great way to start. Great way to start with a male elephant that's just feeding away. You can see some of the tambotis, some of the trees around the area. It's a little bit kind of got a goldish color. You can see this is on the fire break, so of course the fire has singed most of those leaves on some of the trees, but it did not get to these beautiful green tambotis. As you see, he's tucking himself in there. He's enjoying this afternoon's feed around the side. Daryl, good afternoon. Yes, another beautiful day. It is a beautiful day here at Djuma. Stunning. Bit of cloud cover, which is nice. No breeze, not a breath of wind. And just watching this amazing elephant, male elephant. Okay, now it looks like he wants to go that way. Why do you choose that way? Alright, I think, Odie, let's try and get around that side. Sorry. I thought he was going to come. He was making his way here, and now he decided to mess us around. Let's just gonna go a little bit forward and see if we can get a better view of this beautiful male elephant. Nice boy, not old, like the size, he's not that big yet. He hasn't really got that huge body like the older males. You think like this, Odie? Nice, huh? Alrighty then, I'm gonna take my foot off the brake. Nice tusks, not big tusks on him. As you can see, not the biggest of tusks, and the head as well. So I'll say maybe about 35, 40-year-old male. This, of course, enjoying the afternoon meal. Top cat, yes. Lovely bottom. That's what he's giving us at the moment. He's just giving us his rear end. Why? Turn around for us. Well, he's going to come now. I'm sure he's going to like turn around and come this way. You'll see. I think he's just taking interest in some of that. Looks like it's a buffalo thorn and some tamboti leaves. He's having a ball of a time there. Oh, yes, come this way. No, doesn't want to. Yeah, my turn. Yeah, he's going to go down into maybe into the dip. while we sit here with this male elephant, we're going to see what he's going to be up to. We'll do that. Let's head over to Lauren. She's doing some birding.
Look who we have here. I think it's little Batavia. She's sitting on her natal nest. It's not any random nest. It's her... Why do I keep saying her? We don't actually know. His or her nest. I wonder if it brings some sort of comfort. Or is it just warm? Maybe it's warm. As mentioned, it's blustery, it's cold. Maybe sitting up there you're actually sheltered from the wind and it's warm. The nest still looks pretty well maintained. I mean, they were using it when I was here in Feb. So that wasn't that long ago. Aren't they the cutest thing? In case any of you don't know who Batavia is and you think I'm going crazy, we are looking at a juvenile batelier. Looks very different from the adult, easy to get confused, but we follow this batelier. And as much as we can, this nest was seen long ago. And although it's a bit of a tricky view, we are able to get a visual. And although this chick looks big, it is still a chick. It's very young. It's flying now, it's hunting now, but it is still brand new to the world. Still learning. Adam? I don't know. Let me see if I can find it in the app. I know that both sexes contribute. As for how long it takes them, I don't know. Okay, the app says on average 6 weeks it can take them. But I mean, I would guess that's a pretty loose figure. It's thickly lined with green leaves, and they frequently reuse their nest for 3 to 5 years. So there you go. It can take a long time for them to build this nest, both males and females. It takes a lot of preparation to get it right, to bring all the sticks here, to make sure the sticks don't fall, to start to sort of weave them and then line the nest. You can see how windy it is. Catherine, of course you'll be happy. Yes, it's great to see Batavia. We are on a road that you can either call it Jigga Jigga Road or Ingwe Alley. It's got two names. I quite like Jigga Jigga, but this is where we mostly always see Batavia. You can get pretty lucky if you come on this road. And Ingwe means leopard, so it's also known as Leopard Alley. And oh boy, we have had some leopard sightings here. Some incredible leopard sightings. So it's always a good road to check. And when I say leopard, I don't just mean one. I mean multiple leopards all in one tree. It's that kind of road. But I still prefer the name Jigga Jigga. Look at your feathers. I'm trying to think, do any of you have it listed when Batavia was first seen as a chick? I'm just wondering if we could try and establish roughly how old they are. Juvenile bateliers are tricky. They stay in this sort of phase for a long time. And as I've mentioned before, it can take up to 8 years to get the full adult plumage. I'm just trying to think when Batavia was first seen. If any of you have that information, send it on through. We had Batilda before, and we used to follow Batilda all the time. Every day I would visit Batilda. And now we've got Batavia. Ridiculous, I know, but at least you can remember them. At least Batilda had an identity. When we refer back to that time, I'm not just saying to you, oh, remember that juvenile battler. I'm saying, remember Batilda. Same with Sebwig and Olivia. Yes, they're silly names, but at least you're giving them a unique identity and you can reflect back on those sightings. It's not just a battalier. I'm sure Mum and Dad will be around as well. Normally they're in the area. I'd love to see them all in the same tree. You're very cute. Ow. Sandra, they are monogamous. And they're quite strictly monogamous too. The bond lasts for a really long time. It doesn't in other birds. Sometimes it can be seasonal, sometimes it can be very social. But for battaliers, it does last a long time. And therefore, they will only copulate with each other. They will do a display, however, of course. The different sexes have got to, well, the female's got to let the male know that she's ready. And very often this can be, in battaliers at least, this can be an aerial display. And it's apparently quite spectacular. I haven't really seen it, but it does involve chasing mid-air. The male sort of dives at the female and she rolls onto her back almost, in the air, presenting her talons. So yes, they absolutely. Then they'll alloprene each other, which is very cute and very endearing to watch. And I also read recently that they do the limp wing display when they let their wings drop, sort of extend them a little bit and gently flap them. And they do this to each other. That's all part of their courtship ritual. Just to let each other know that they're ready. But they are a monogamous pair. And I think this battalier pair is the same one that we've been following for a long time. But, oh, I couldn't say that 100%.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
Looks like this elephant is, of course, he's pretty much, how can I say, moving through the grass net, so he is kind of chasing a lot of insects out there. And there was a bird, just, it's gone now. I saw the grey-headed, brown-hooded kingfisher. Oh, there it is. I think you'll see it this side there, Oda. You'll see just here. No, the other side of the elephant, the left-hand side. There. Go straight in. No, I've just missed it. Yeah, there's a fork-tailed drongo as well, but there's... Oh, there it is. Look him up. There. Yeah, go straight in. Oh, there he goes. Oh, it just went. As we found the brown-hooded kingfisher, it flew off. No! Well, of course, due to the elephant disturbing all the grasses and that, all the insects come flying out there, and then of course the brown-hooded kingfisher, the fork-tailed drongo, the starlings, they're all snatching up all these little insects now. But unfortunately, that the kingfisher has decided to take flight as we framed it up. It looks like this elephant as well. He's deciding to go behind this termite mound. A little bit of a shy boy. He doesn't want to show face. Well, he might come around. Oof. Where is he? I think he's just... Andrea, does the elephant get affected by snake bites? I don't think a snake's fangs can really go through an elephant's skin. They've got very, very thick skin. So yeah, no, I don't think they will get affected by any snakes, unless the snake falls on the elephant's head and the snake bites the elephant behind the ear. Maybe then, but other than that, no. Yeah, but the trunks are also very thick, hard. Alright, well, we're going to look for our elusive grey mammal that's decided to duck behind one of these termite mounds. Let's head over to Lauren, as she's got another scaly creature that she wants to show you.
I am definitely having all the luck in the world this afternoon. I am so happy I found this little guy. This is a plated lizard. And this is a termite mound in an area of the reserve called Philemon's Dip. And believe it or not, I used to come here every day and find this plated lizard with dwarf mongoose. They coexist together in this mound when the dwarf mongoose are using this mound. They might not be right now because, of course, they bounce between a network. But I'm so happy to see you. Oh, I've got the most wonderful pictures. I put them on Instagram of the dwarf mongoose together with this lizard. If it's the same one, I think it might be. Just chilling. Dwarf mongoose keep this guy safe. And this guy eats the dwarf mongoose feces. Delightful. I know, but there's a beautiful relationship there. They're both helping one another. And it's actually, it can be quite common. I think this might be the rough scale plated lizard. I'm pretty sure it's a rough scale and not the giant. They do look similar, but it's a plated lizard all the same. And it's just amazing to both see them sort of, you know, you've got a reptile here who's completely cold-blooded, and then you've got a warm-blooded tiny mammal who's also a ferocious predator together, just chilling. It's really bizarre to see. But dwarf mongoose are quite well known to form mutualistic relationships with other species. For me, the rough-scaled lizard is just... it's just an epic thing to see. Coexisting together in this mound. This is a cleaner. Mongoose are the security guards. Eddie, in terms of predators of the lizards, birds of prey, big birds of prey will swoop down. Bigger mammals, your predator. I mean, a young leopard would really be curious about a lizard like this. Hyenas. We've got some giraffes walking towards us. They are moving quite fast. We'll catch up with them in just a minute. I'm so happy to see this guy. I love reptiles and we don't see them enough out here. Jane, they've actually got quite a broad diet as far as I know. And obviously in summer, they're going to snack a lot on insects. All sorts of insects, from beetles to alates to all the delicious protein snacks that will be flying around. They do eat millipedes, they're known to eat millipedes, but they are also known to snack on fruits and flowers. They'll supplement their diet, so they're omnivores. Most animals really, although you ask about diet, you always have to remember winter can be really harsh here. It's not the harshest winter I've ever seen here in Juma, but it can be that way. And therefore, I can see zebra as well. Okay, I think when we round this corner, we're in for a surprise. But all animals will adapt when the conditions get harsh. But this has been such a wonderful sighting. It's so good to see this guy again. But I believe Andrew has warthogs for you all.
Okay, now this morning, many of you will remember we stopped and we spoke about how warthogs were so difficult to get on camera. Now, not this afternoon. This afternoon we've got it quite lucky, and we've got a family of warthogs here. It's just one female with 3 of her wartlets. That's the technical term given to the young. And it just sort of reminds me of this morning when we were out and we managed to see that female cheetah. And she had 3 cubs with her. And now this afternoon, we're watching this beautiful mom over here. And she's got 3 wartlets. So yeah, we're seeing it on the other end of the scale in the afternoon. Very busy this afternoon. They have been here for some time. We've been watching them for about 10 minutes. And they have been shoveling the soil, which they do a lot. And as we, go on the drive and we drive on the roads and we look on the sides, sometimes the sign of warthogs spading the ground or shoveling the ground is very evident, and we are going to see a lot more of it now because it's winter and it's dry. So now they're getting a little bit desperate. The grass most of the grass has been eaten or it's dried away, and so for them they're going to try and go for the roots of the grasses. Also, there's going to be minerals inside the roots now because it's dry. It's very dry at the moment. In the summer months, less damage, but they'll still do some shoveling of the soil. But often when we look at the shovel marks that they leave from their snouts, we think it's a bad thing. Mona Lisa, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I don't know. There was that, when I was growing up at least, I know many of you will know this, but when I was growing up at least, there was, what was it called now? What was it called? That farm pig? Babe. That's that. Babe. We can name the mom Babe, maybe. Okay, so there's yes, thanks Jordan. Jordan's just helping me out there. So it looks like there's 2 adult females here with 3 young. Now I was actually going to say earlier on that usually you find them with two females with a set of young. And when we saw them, for the most part of watching them, we only saw the 1 female, which is actually quite strange. But now as they're feeding and more warthogs are revealing themselves, we see that there is 2 adult females here, which is normal. They'll pair up. They pair up when they're ready to give birth, or when they're ready to breed. They pair up, and then they will go into an estrous cycle together, and then a nice big boar will show interest in them and mate with them and impregnate them, and then they give birth at the same time, and then you have a mixed litter of up to 8 wartlets. But now we're only seeing 3 here between 2 adult females. What happened to the rest? This is a good indicator of predation. When predators are high, then wartlets, they drop in numbers.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
Unbelievable stuff, very unexpected. Cedric and I have been driving round and round and round and seeing nothing. And then all of a sudden everybody's out. You do see zebras here. I did say once they started burning the fire breaks, you'll see a lot more zebra. Maybe I conjured them over this side. We will move forward in a little bit, not right now, to get the giraffes as well. I think today's the day our curse breaks. We had a good day at the den this morning. Juma's on a roll. I'm just going to go forward a bit because honestly... Oh. Windy. Honestly, these scenes are just incredible, and I can feel a little bit of sunshine too. What more does one need? There are about 5 or 6 giraffe and maybe about 15 zebra. I just wanted to build on what Andrew was saying. Definitely November is impala rutting month. You will see the babies in November. It won't be January. Doesn't change. The rutting season is a rutting season. And I do remember being there with my parents last year, and it was definitely November when we started seeing the little lambs. Okay, the giraffe are just up here. This is so wonderful, honestly. I think it's just because we've been having quiet days where we wanted to cry. And now, oh, you guys are here. But they are heading to a dam we call Treehouse Dam. And I'm just hoping that... Here we go, we can see that one nicely. I'm just hoping that they go down there for a drink. Maybe the zebra will join too and it'll be a big party. I think let's follow the giraffe. The zebra are taking their time behind us. I think there was a question earlier, why don't we see big herds of zebra in Juma? Just going to get that clarified. Ah, and impala too. Ah. Wesley, remember, Juma's tiny. I can't stress this enough. It is really tiny, especially when you come from driving around a reserve like Madikwe, where you've got pretty much all 75,000 hectares there. You've got a lot of hectares to work with, and you drive for kilometers and kilometers. So Juma's just 1,200 k's. And some of that is not really drivable if you think about the drainage lines in the Mowati. So really, animals just move very freely. The Sabi Sand is open to the Kruger Park on the eastern boundary as well. So a lot of animals just move, especially when they're not territorial. They will follow things like water and resources. So it's not that they just move, that's all. They just sort of, they come and go. But there's definitely not as many zebra in this area as there is in the likes of Madikwe. Whew, populations there are very high. The giraffes are moving a little bit away now from Treehouse Dam. You guys not going to drink? This is actually hyena den number 2. That termite mound is Philemon's dip den 2. Tina, it was lovely. It was lovely to have these animals around. Giraffes have been around a lot the past few days. And again, they travel great distances, so it just takes them one day and they're already on another property. It's more restricted here with traverse rights, whereas Madikwe is a reserve where they'd opened it all and everyone can traverse everywhere. It's just a different concept. I think if I go forward, we'll actually have better views. Lion 8, you always find giraffe, so something. Elegant, yes, of course, of course. Unbelievable animals. When you just think about their adaptations, wow. It's really wow. Elegant indeed. But they are sort of moving through the block now, so we will let them be. I just want to quickly check the dam, and then maybe we can come back and catch up with the zebras. What else can we possibly find today? I wonder if the cooler temperatures are just meaning we're getting a bit lucky. The afternoons have been 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I can't remember. Getting old, people. We had really hot temperatures. Almost felt like a warm morning of summer. But of course today that's completely changed. Dam does look quite empty, but it's always worth checking. Normally in winter, the dam is absolutely where you want to be, but this is a very different kind of winter. So for now, we're going to send you guys back down to Madikwe.
Thank you, Lauren. Good luck at the water holes and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a much warmer and very sunny Amakhala Game Reserve. We're down in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa, having a lovely start to the afternoon. My name is Tess. Behind the camera is Morgan. Thank you for joining us on safari today. We're looking for cheetahs. Whether we find them, totally different story. But their tracks were caught on the road that we are parked at the moment. About an hour ago the tracks were found. So we're hoping that the cheetah boys are sitting somewhere here, that they are possibly looking for some food, and that we might spot them by sitting still for a little bit. We've checked some of their favorite spots on the way here and we don't have any tracks. So from where we are, most likely they've either gone east or west, which really narrows it down. Really narrows it down. But we at least know their favorite spots from here, and the best part of it is we've got an advantage for the afternoon. The cheetahs like to use the sandy roads in this section, so hopefully we'll pick up on some tracks if they have moved further away from this area that we're in. But at least we are happy that it is nice and warm. It was freezing cold this morning. We were down to about -1, -2 degrees Celsius. Very, very cold. Everything was frozen. And I think the cheetahs used that opportunity to move while it was nice and cool. And so this afternoon, now that it's warmed up a lot, everyone's enjoying the sun. It's a beautiful spot to be out looking at the view. Best part about it is scanning, looking for those golden cats. Cosmic Carol, hello. Thank you so much for the very warm greeting. Very excited. I don't know what we're going to find, but I'm happy that you're excited to see whatever we have. We're hoping it's going to be cheetahs. I don't know if it will be. But we haven't seen the boys in a bit now, so it's about time that we found them again. The 3 that we are looking for is 3 young male cheetahs. They're 2.5 years old. And they are coming into their own. They have a massive territory across Amakhala, but they have their favorite spots in this western edge of Amakhala. This is one of them. So we're looking out kind of north to northeast at the moment. over the rest of Amakhala that spreads out all the way over those hills into the distance. It's a massive, very expansive property. And the cheetahs, luckily for us, like this area that we are in. So we started in a good spot. Now all we have to do is narrow down that process by tracking them. Which could be interesting because you can see in amongst all of these open green patches, have a look at how thick the thickets are. It makes it a little tricky to spot animals at all when they're in the thickets. The good thing with the cheetahs is they do like to be out in the open. So I'm hoping if we keep looking through open patches, like those ones you can see sticking out of the brush, that we might get lucky and spot some cheetah movement. That's the goal. So I'm busy scanning with binoculars while we are sitting here, because it's the best way to try and spot any form of golden movement. This time of the day we can expect the cheetahs to be relaxing, but at the same time we know that they have been hungry and haven't really had a meal in the last few days, so perhaps they might be taking the advantage to use the hot weather to hunt.
Not everyone gets excited to hear a leopard chuff, spot a pangolin, or see a real impala rat. But if you are wild about the wild, you can become part of a community of like-minded nature lovers and share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Join the Explorers Club and you will also enjoy the many benefits that come with it too. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
So this beautiful big dark tree that you can see on the right hand side, this is a scent marking tree for the cheetahs. They move through this open clearing. Behind it you can see some very intense thickets. Towards those thickets is where their tracks were called in. That's where we're going to be going. But it's also good for us to check around this clearing where this beautiful big dark green tree is, in case they've been scent marking as they move through. Who knows? But hopefully if we get lucky, we'll be able to show you where the cheetahs are and what they're doing. Fingers crossed. As you all know, our mission is to connect as many people as possible with nature. For me, the idea with that is to make it the biggest nature classroom in the world, live and interactive. So if you'd like to help us with that mission, you can head over to our website and click on donate. Every little bit counts, and we really, really, really appreciate everything that has happened so far, all of those donations that have come in. A special thank you to Andrew Stain, Shujin Lee, and Mike Malone for your donations in the last 24 hours. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Murphy's Law once again with birding. You know, we had some Coqui Franklins, beautiful little Franklin birds, like they're the smallest of the Franklin species, and they were in the grass right next to the vehicle. Oh, you can still see the bit of movement there. There's one. Little Coqui Franklins, but of course they're so small, but when they go into the grass, they just disappear so quickly. Well, at least we can see the male and that orange head. Well, I don't think we're going to get that one again. Maybe another one will come through. So don't take a look. We might be lucky with another one that's going to venture into an open space. But they are beautiful. Even the female. The female's got some stunning patterns on the side of her head and on down the neck as well, where the male's got this typical just orange head. No, they're not going to come out. I don't think we're going to have any more luck on this, Odie. All right. Well, that was nice just to see a quick or brief visual of those Coqui Franklins. But anyway, on that note, I think I'm going to continue going south. I'm on the western side of Djuma once again, as always. And I am scratching, as always, around the western side of Djuma to see if I'm going to be lucky enough finding maybe some rosettes. But while we do that, let's head over to Madikwe to see what's happening that side with Andrew.
Thanks, Cedric. Yeah, we're watching 3 giraffes at the moment, and they're all young ones. So we're just sitting tight here. We just trying to work out where the adults are. And this is the general area where that female cheetah with her cubs was last seen this morning. So we're just going to watch them and see how they behave. But so far, I see one is at least sitting down, which is a good sign for them that they're nice and comfortable. But in terms of the female cheetah, she could be long gone. But even though, you know, female cheetahs or cheetah in general are not going to do anything to young giraffe, very unlikely, they're still young, these giraffe, and a predator is a predator. So they'll just stare at it and stare at it if it's around. I just love their curious nature. Giraffes are very curious animals. Here we go, just a little bit of shifting. I don't know if some of you were with us the other day when we saw some giraffes, and the giraffes are all staring, as I mentioned now. And they were staring and staring and repositioning constantly, and then suddenly they ran. And then we had 2 spotted hyenas that came walking through the bush. Yeah, the eyesight of giraffe is incredible. I would love to have their eyesight. I think we would see a lot. And yeah, I think it would be an amazing thing to experience. They can see very far. And because they're so tall, I mean, that helps them even further, because they can get right over the tree line when they're adults. And most of the time they do spot the predators before they get too close. It's nice to watch them sit down. It's not very often you see this. Paigey, I agree with that. Yeah, any animal, you know, if you spend time with animals, I think it's time well spent. Giraffes, giraffes are just those type of animals that really captivate everybody's imagination. You know, it's a tall animal, and when you hear about them when you're young, and in some cases, you know, when people are even much older in life, and they hear about giraffes and having such long necks that they can feed on top of the tall trees, your mind, your imagination runs wild. And then you see them for the first time in your life, And it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Same goes with elephant. Just amazing how an animal can just get so tall. Or with an elephant, how an animal can get so large. They're just enjoying this nice warm spot, just like we are. It's actually a pleasure sometimes to stop and be in the sun, let the body just warm up and the skin warm up. Now there's a gentle breeze blowing about at the moment, so you can see these giraffes, they've felt the need to lie down, or at least one of them, and they've gone a little bit, surrounded by some of these sickle bushes, so almost aids them in like a boma, a little windbreaker. But what I've noticed is when it's raining, and rain usually comes from an angle, and you see the animals, they are literally right on the other side of the bush trying to get out of that angle of rain, or wind for that matter. And they choose the best spot possible. As I say, it's not often that you get to see them sitting down like this. Young ones, yeah, it's a bit more that you see. The adults do it as well, but they spend a lot of time on their hoof in it. Just wonderful watching them, and I love it when they turn their necks and they show you that profile. This one looks like might want to stand up. Brand, their tongues are pretty long. Just imagine it, between 30 and 45 centimeters long. That is incredibly long. And it's a little bit blue in color, their tongues, and being very long and prehensile. That's the highlighted word, prehensile. So it's almost like a finger, and they use it to help them to feed. And they'll sometimes wrap their tongue around a branch or something, just to bring the branch closer to their mouth. Very long tongues they do have. It's so long, their tongues, that they'll be able to even lick their eyeballs, and they do. I've seen it once. They lick their eyeballs with their tongues. And sometimes their tongue even goes up their nostril to clean it out. Very nice to watch these giraffes. So we're going to push on a bit. I believe Lauren is watching some birds at the moment, and she wants to show you some. Let's go take a look.
I am so happy right now. I could squeal, but I won't. Don't worry. I've been waiting for an owl. Where have you guys been hiding? This is the African barred owlet. So very small, and to be honest, very similar to the pearl-spotted owlet. They do look similar in appearance and in size, but this is a barred, and you can tell that from the chest. You can really see the sort of bars going across the chest at the top, and then the main part of the chest is sort of, it almost looks spotted, actually, rather than barred. But every night when we've got the spotlight out, I've been looking for an owl. I absolutely adore owls. I think they are the most incredible species. The masters of silent flight. Remarkable adaptations. We don't fully understand. On paper we understand, but it's hard to put yourself in the mind or the umwelt of an owl. Everything about them is equipped for their silent flight. Huge eyes in comparison to their head. Obviously the barred owlet is very small, so the eyes are going to be smaller, but still the huge eyes to let all that light in. uneven ears. The ear holes don't sit at equal height. One is always above the other. And that is to allow for better equipment in order to judge exactly where the sound is coming from. Unbelievable hearing. I wonder what it's like to hear like an owl. Cosmic Carol. Many. In southern Africa, I'll list the ones that you can find, but that doesn't mean we find them all in Djuma. So I hope that answers your question, because I'm not sure exactly where you're referring to. We get the barn owl, and actually Ali, one of our Dream Team girl naturalists, saw one here in Djuma, and I was so jealous, so happy jealous, but I was just so impressed at seeing a barn owl here. You get the grass owl, the marsh owl you can see in Madikwe, if Andrew goes up to the northwest. You get the wood owl, the Scops owl that I believe Cedric had the other night, the southern white-faced owl, pearl-spotted barred, which is what we're looking at right now, and Cape eagle owl you get in the Cape, spotted eagle owl you get here, think of the wigs, the Pell's fishing owl, which is way up on my bucket list, and then you get the Faroes eagle owl, which we do get here. So quite a diverse range. I really want to see the Pells. They've got such a limited distribution. They're very unique and very rare. I think they're classified as endangered on the IUCN Red List. But I've seen most of these species. I think the only one I've not seen is a grass owl. What is your distribution? It's also quite limited. I just think really when you get into the sensory world, owls just really stand out in their unique realm. And the book that I always reference to you, The Immense World, talks a lot about owls. They don't have good olfactory sense. They can smell, but it's not strong. And that's because it doesn't need to be. The senses are sort of not equal in each species. Species will always have a sort of primary and secondary sense that they rely on the heaviest. But they will pull information from all their senses at one time that they can in order to build the bigger picture. So owls are not known to have a really good olfactory sense, but my goodness, their hearing. So because their ears are not equal, they can hear the slightest rustle in the leaves or the grass that we could not even begin to imagine. They're just remarkable.
Did you know that the WildEarth team makes weekly behind the safari content? Would you like to get to know the WildEarth family better? See how we live.
This is Igor's bedroom.
Learn about our production process. And see the antics that happen off camera. Sign up to be an explorer and you will get access to all this content and more.
And of course, most owls are nocturnal. And therefore this little one's just resting. Probably not going to get active for a while yet. I'd like to play the call. I won't play it now because that's just not ethical or responsible. But I will play it a little bit later when we're away from this barred owlet. It's such a cute little find. And because the trees are now getting quite bare, they are easy to spot. Catherine, it is such a cool sighting. Every night I've been complaining, where are the owls? Where are the owls? I just adore them. Remarkable birds, especially spending so much time at the Wiggs house. My goodness, I think all of us learned a lot about spotted eagle owls that we didn't think we would ever know.
We made our way to Treehouse Dam. As you can see, one of the beautiful dams here on Djuma. We had some crested barbets, but they flew off. They decided to avoid the camera and they headed out from the dam, and no more sighting of them. But it's alright, I'll try and look. I don't even see a lapwing here. Where can I see a lapwing? A lapwing, no Egyptian geese. Hello? No one. No hippo, no terrapin. I hear starlings, I hear birchals. Cedric, 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 Cedric. I don't know, yeah. But that's all. I'm trying to look, I'm scanning this place very carefully. I hear green woodhoopers, but far away. I don't think we're going to get them. Let me quickly get my bifocals and put it to my eyes. And let's quickly see if I can see them. I hear those birchal starlings, but I don't see them. Alright, Odie, I don't think, it seems like this dam has been evacuated for some reason. Like everything. Everything. I think even the insects are. even the fish are flapping out here. Quentin, what do I have to find to consider myself lucky today? Well, Quentin, I think anything with a heartbeat. No, I'm joking. I think we've already had an elephant. It's Cokie Franklin's. So yeah, but I think if I really have to look for something now and consider myself nice and lucky for an individual, I think it would be Tlalamba. Indeed. A female leopard. I want to see her soon. I just want to see her. So yeah. Tlalamba. Yes, Jordan. I know which leopard Jordan wants to see. Of course, Jordan, our director today, and I can guess already. It'll be Marips. It'll be Marips. Oh yes. Oh, you never know. Might be lucky. Might have a little bit of a surprise. Oh, we got a crested, he's going to disappear. Oh, there's another one. A little crested Franklin that's just crossing the road now in front of us. And, oh, why did the Franklin cross the road? To get to the other side. Well, you can see nicely, beautiful. I love that little white brow above the eye. Like a nice white streak. Debbie, which birds do I find on drive daily? Debbie, starlings, glossy starlings, Burchell starlings, Franklins, this crested Franklins, your hornbills. Oh, there will be so many, so many. Lapwings, blacksmith lapwings, Egyptian geese, of course. I think the thickneys as well, water thickneys. Cisticulars. So yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few. And of course your go-away birds. Go away! There's one right on top there. Right on top, there goes another one. Two grey go-away birds. The other one's going to land next to his friend. Oh, maybe chase his friend away. Oh, okay. Ha! Moxie, maybe you say I might, well, maybe I must sing for the animals and they might come again. Well, Moxie, I think maybe my singing has chased them away. I have to go into a very, what was his name? Leonard Cohen style. A deep voice. Go slowly with a deep voice, and then you can sing that way. Yeah. But that, I think I'll be scaring the bird. I'll be scaring the birds away with that. I like Leonard Cohen. He was a fantastic artist. Fantastic.
We have an interesting development at Amakala. We heard zebras going absolutely wild. You know that typical alarm call? Wah, 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 wah. Everybody going wild, running around. We thought, oh, the cheetahs are here. The cheetahs are here. Turns out they're having a fight. The zebras are fighting each other, and we've got it right there. You can see there's a bit of unrest. Sorry, that is the lowest the radio goes. But that group of zebras, they've been chasing each other around, biting each other, kicking each other. And this is the first time we've actually managed to get them to sit still for long enough that we can kind of show you that we even have zebras, because they've been so panicked that they've just been running. It looks like temporarily we seem to have calmed down a bit, but my goodness, it was crazy. Lazarus, it's actually interesting. Zebras fight for two different reasons. The one is definitely dominance, which in turn means mating rights. So males will fight each other, the stallions. They fight each other for dominance of a herd or a dazzle. And with that comes all the females and the mating rights, because you won't really find more than one stallion in a dazzle. Sometimes you might in a larger dazzle, but even then they'll be fighting. The other reason why zebras fight is actually for courtship, which is pretty interesting. When they're trying to court each other, the males and females, they fight. They bite each other, they kick each other. It's not nearly as violent as when the stallions fight each other, but it's enough that you think, okay, there's clearly no love here. This must be a fight between, males, and you look closer and it's actually a courtship between male and female. What is interesting is that the stallions actually have more teeth than the mares because they bite more. So stallions have about 40 teeth and mares have about 36. And we think this is because the stallions bite each other in these dominance displays and these fights, and then bite the females as well when they're courting them, which makes it really interesting. And now the fighting seems to have stopped, so whatever was happening seems to be calmed for now. But I don't think it's going to last long, because there's definitely still a bit of tension. You can see some heads shaking there behind the bush. There's definitely still some tension there with at least two of those zebras. So we're not sure if it was stallions that were fighting or if it was a stallion trying to chase a mare. We couldn't tell. It was just chaos, just zebras running and calling, and we thought for sure there was a zebra being killed by a cheetah or three. But alas, it just turns out that there's some domestic issues happening within the dazzle. It made the whole dazzle completely on edge. The dazzle actually split in half by quite a few hundred meters and then came back together because of all of the drama. There's probably about 40 odd zebras here. Crazy that you can only see about 1.5 of them currently. But they are moving over towards the next clearing. There's a road coming up. If we carry on down the road and turn left, we should hopefully come out at about the same time that the zebras do, if we give them a couple of minutes to get there. But it was so exciting hearing the noises that we both kind of got up and looked around, pulled out the binoculars. What's happening? The cheetahs are here. The waterbuck were looking really nervous. There were kudus staring and barking. It's just the zebras being dramatic. Xavier, I wouldn't think that the males will be able to just kind of bring on an estrus in a mare. It's more likely that the mares are on a cycle and that the males become more aggressive towards the part of the cycle where a female's coming into estrus. But I will have a look into that and see if there are any recorded notes on whether a stallion forces a mare into estrus. I somehow don't think so, just because that isn't the way that it normally happens. But also, I don't know how you would actually test that to see if it is definitely that as opposed to a natural cycle that the mares are on. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't trust my brain at the moment. I couldn't even pronounce words this morning, so I wouldn't trust it to be right on that either. But I think it's just a normal estrus cycle like you would find in most mammals. Females on a cycle more or less at the same time, so that they all give birth at around the same time. and the stallions just take advantage of that and get extra aggressive. Because remember, most of the mammals want to give birth at around the same time. It's usually coming into the spring. And so most of the females have estrous cycles that line up with each other, and the stallions just fight over who is going to be the lucky stallion closer to that time. They get more aggressive. You want to have enough food and enough water when you're both producing milk and have a foal to feed and keep safe. So springtime is the best time for herbivores to give birth. Whatever bird is calling behind us sounds just like a cheetah.
Is it not a cheetah?
I don't know if it's a cheetah because even the zebra turned around going, hang on. Did I just hear that? It sounds just like a cheetah. Have a listen if you can hear it. It's a very high-pitched call. Oh, of course, now it's stopped. It always does that. I don't know why. But even the zebra looked back as if to say, hang on. Was that a cheetah or was that a bird? That very high-pitched chirp that cheetahs make when they call each other. We've both stopped watching the zebras and we're both looking backwards for the cheetah. Right, so you will hear the radio is on in the background. I know I briefly mentioned it earlier, but just as a reminder, it's just so that all of us guides can chat amongst ourselves and make sure we all know what's happening. And especially because there are 3 of us here looking for the cheetahs, we have to know where the other people are. But we're going to stick around and see if we can find the source of the chirping and the source of the fighting. And we'll send you over to Cedric to see what he's up to in Djuma.
Good luck, Tess. I'm hoping that you're going to get those cheetahs. And I'm also on a hunt for that leopard. Around Vuatila camp this morning, Ari Dam. So I'm just actually I'm just south of the camp now on another road called Ingwe Alley. So I'm just taking a look here carefully to see if anything has come or anything has popped out on this road. Excuse me. So far it doesn't look like anything, but let's take a look. I might just go back towards this big open clearing to just south of our camp. I just want to go looking. Oh, brown-hooded king fisher. All right, then let's try and get it. See if we can get it. I know it's going to be a problem. Don't fly away. Don't fly away. All right, just there, eh? You can get, oh, sorry, it's a brown-headed kingfisher. I was trying to get it on screen, but oh, there, they got it there. It just came back now into the thicket there. Oh, beautiful. Are we going to get it? Is it going to happen? It is. There it is. Look at that stunning brown-hooded kingfisher. And isn't it beautiful, that like stunning electric blue that's situated at the bottom of its wings and on the rump. Okay. Oh, well, we got it. It's fine. We got it. That's the main thing. 1 second is better than a none second. So yes, here it is. Boom. All right, let's continue. Oh, there's a whole lot of antelope that's just around the corner. Nice impalas, nice big herd here. Oh, a huge harem. All the females, a couple of young males here, and then of course a dominant male that's further back. Here a woodpecker as well, pecking away. So as you can see, there's a nice big male there. Where is this woodpecker? Yeah, it's no, it's one of the woodpecker. I just hear at the background. I'm trying to see if I can find this woodpecker. Have you got it? Oui? I apologize. We are trying to locate a woodpecker somewhere in this tree. I want to see if we can get it. If you see it, let us know, because we are struggling to find it. Nope, I don't know. Alright, well, we have had no luck with that woodpecker, but let's head over to Lauren, as she's had more luck than me.
My day just keeps on getting better and better. Now, June Bug here, June is sleeping, but June Bug is now at the stage where we're greeting the cars. Yes, we greet cars now. Oh, fancy that. We greet them and then we inspect them and then now we watch them. Unbelievable. I remember when I came here 2 weeks ago, he was still very cautious of the car. But now he come bounding up to greet us when we first arrived. And it's funny because where June, the adult, is sleeping is actually where Corky was originally sleeping this morning, and then Swazi came and had a good old sniff and pee-pee, and now June is sleeping there. So they're all pee-peeing and sleeping in the same places. It's lovely. In true hyena style. I just love coming here and having it active. I can slow the pace down and really dive into the world of hyenas. Sorry Cedric's not having much luck, but I do think he's going to get a leopard. I can feel it. Hello? See, this little one probably sleeps a lot, so although Mom's here, doesn't want to sleep. Janeo, you are welcome. It's been a good day for hyenas. And we're very, very lucky to be here. Very grateful and very lucky. June, you're not quite June the balloon today, are you? You're a little bit balloony, but definitely not as big as you were yesterday. And Junebug has positioned himself in such a way that there is a massive tree in front of his face. That's better. So that's me seeing quite a lot of the clan today then. Corks, Koa, Swaz, Orion, June and Junebug. I actually am starting to really like this den. Whoever chose it, you did good. Constantia, he is cute, but believe it or not, they're not called pups. They're actually called cubs. And it is to do with them being slightly more related to the felids marginally than they are the canids. They're in their own classification, but you do use the word cub for hyena, not pup. But he's so cute. It's believed to be a boy. I actually haven't had a look, but I have heard from numerous different sources out here that is believed to be a boy. But of course, we could always get that wrong. We have in the past. Quite a few times. It's very tricky. But when Ribbon first gave birth, everyone was shocked. Oh. Ribbon was thought to be a boy, and then of course Swazi was thought to be a boy. Got them both wrong. But you see this little spot that June is in is sort of a little hole in the ground. She's got a perfect pillow. And everyone piddles in it. Wonderful. Looks cozy. I'm really hoping I don't leave. I've still got 2 odd weeks left, but I'm hoping that I get to see Ribbon and Heart before I go. Hello, little one. What are you standing on to make yourself so big? Victoria. The question. Hyenas have very unique genitalia. And June has sadly turned the other way, but if she does give us a view, we shall... Or maybe the cub will. Maybe if we can just zoom into the back legs, we might actually get a view. Not the best view, but males have a penis naturally and females have a pseudo penis. Now to the naked eye it looks exactly the same. I might be able to pull up an image for you. You really have to look at the end of the pseudo penis or the penis to really try and make out what it is. Obviously if you can see the mammary glands, if they've given birth, if they've got cubs, then of course you know it's a female. But they also have a pseudo scrotum. Yes. So the pseudo penis is actually just made up of an enlarged clitoris. So it really is female anatomy that has just evolved in the wackiest way.
Stay up to date with the latest happenings at WildEarth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it! And he's straight up a tree!
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. WildEarth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
Sweet. This little one's not got a social unit. This little one, there are no other cubs. And although it won't really affect this little one's development, no one to play with. And that's why Mom's your play toy, but Mom really doesn't want to be your play toy. Mom wants to sleep. And this is why, if there was a sibling here, it would actually be a lot easier for June. Hey, my girl. She's looking at me as if I can babysit. I can't babysit June. She is still definitely June the balloon. June, you always leave when I arrive. I am not a babysitter. Every single time I come, she gets up and goes. No, don't look at me like that. June always does this. She always leaves when I arrive. She either thinks I can babysit or the cub is just getting too much. Come back this way, you two. The cub really needs to play. Having other cubs here would benefit him so much. Leopard lover, that's really sweet. What a lovely thing to say. You say that you really like to see us guides happy and in our element. It's very sweet. And I'm definitely in my element at this day. I'm just so grateful to be here. And hopefully, for another, we can still keep in touch with them. Oh, I'm definitely in my element. I'm not moving the car because there's a little cub running amok here and it's a bit of a tricky signal spot, but sadly June is walking away. June, I charge $20 an hour. And this little cub will try and follow her. Okay, we can still stay here for now, but I have a funny feeling June the balloon is leaving. But for now, over to Amakala.
Better views, that's what we're all hoping for all round. I would love to be able to say that we've got some black wildebeest that are sticking around for you, but it seems that they are wanting to run away. But at least you get to see a really cool view of the silhouette of a black wildebeest, or at least the top 2/3 of it. The rest of the family is here as well, and they're not looking the most relaxed either. Now, there are cheetah tracks coming towards this area. So far, though, between 3 vehicles, we can't seem to find them. So whatever they've done, they've played the hiding game really well. But you can see the wildebeest are looking around. They're not really relaxing and feeding. They're looking as though they've seen a ghost. So where are the boys? They must be around here somewhere. Unusual, isn't it? Normally when we see black wildebeest, they're lying around or they're moving and feeding, chasing each other. To have them all just standing and staring, it's not that we are making them uncomfortable, it's the fact that they're already feeling uncomfortable and now there's a spectator and they're going, hang on. 1 + 1 = 2. Why are you here? Oh, they're cheaters. So we're just watching to see if they're going to give us a general sense of direction on where we need to look next. Raymond, so it's actually pretty cool. The black wildebeest in particular is very well known for having the blonde tail and the blonde mane, and it's just got a little dark strip right on the top of the mane, almost like you've dipped the end of a paintbrush in some black paint. Now that's very different to the blue wildebeest, where the mane and the tail are completely black. So it's quite ironic because they're opposite. But the black wildebeest in particular, pretty much every single one of them is going to be blonde. If you see one that isn't blonde on the tail and the mane, chances are it's had a mud bath. I've never seen a dark black wildebeest in terms of naturally dark mane and tail. They're all quite blonde and very stylish. I love the mohawk that they've got going. They're quite different looking to the larger blue wildebeest. Blue wildebeest has the mane that flops over the neck. It's very flaccid. Black wildebeest have this very luxurious mohawk. Look at that. Standing up against the horizon, the blonde mane dipped in black paint on the top. That bird was quite scary. I don't know if you saw that flash across the screen, but there was a bird that tried to intimidate us and it nearly worked. Now, black wildebeest are a pretty good target for these three male cheetahs, so they've chosen a good spot, being up on the ridge, being in an opening, so they can see the cheetahs coming from any angle. However, the fact that they're in such a good spot and they're still looking nervous, that makes my senses tingly. I feel like these cheetahs are right under our noses, hiding in plain sight, and we haven't spotted them. But the wildebeest, their instincts are telling them that even though they're in a clearing where they should feel comfortable, something is not quite right. Oh, you can even see the little mohawk on his nose when he turns his face to the left. That beautiful big one in the middle. If he turns his head towards the left again, or the right apparently, look at that fluffy bit sticking out. That's an extra bit of mohawk on the top of his nose. Fancy. Veronica, differences between the two wildebeest species, this black wildebeest, which is smaller, and the blue wildebeest, which is what you would find in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve, Madikwe, and everywhere else. Not only the size of the black wildebeest being smaller, but the fact that the color is different as well. So black wildebeest has quite a nice brownish black color to it. A blue wildebeest has a almost gunmetal gray to dark blue sheen to it. Then you've also got the differences in mane and tail colors. Black wildebeest with the blonde mane that sticks up straight and the beautiful long blonde tail. Blue wildebeest would be black, so they would have a black mane that sits flat against the neck. It's floppy, and then the black tail. And then you've also got a difference in the structure as well. So the basic shape of them is a little bit different. The black wildebeest that you can see on the left-hand side there, you can see a clear saddle in its back. You do not get that in a blue wildebeest. So the black wildebeest has hips and shoulders that are about the same height with a saddle in the middle. The blue wildebeest has a sloped back, so the shoulders stand higher than the hips, and it's got that similar shape to a hyena. And that's because the blue wildebeest is the one that migrates. So they're the ones that have to maintain a gallop or a decent speed across very far distances, where black wildebeest don't migrate. And so they don't have to have that adaptation for stamina over distance like that. Another really cool difference between them is that the black wildebeest is also called the brindled gnu. So it's got this kind of almost mottled look to it, where the blue beast has got stripes. If you look, they have stripes that are made up in their hair. And then probably the last one worth mentioning is the horns. So if you have a look at the shape of the horns of these, you can see the horns come forwards and down and then come straight back up and curve back up towards the head. So the horns actually come out protruding forwards from the skull, where in a blue wildebeest the horns would come out on the sides like a buffalo. They curve down and curve back up in a rounded fashion, a nice neat little rounded loop out and back up. Where the black wildebeest, these ones you're seeing, comes out to the front, down and forwards towards the nose, and then straight up to the sky. Look at that, almost a 90-degree angle. Very corn shape on a black wildebeest. The habitats, so you won't find black and blue wildebeest together. Black wildebeest like these semi-arid open grasslands. Blue wildebeest prefer woodlands where there's a lot more rain. And then of course the open savannas in places like East Africa. But there's a lot more rain there than there is in the semi-arid and arid areas of the southern part of South Africa where you would find the black wildebeest. Oh, that was quite a lot of differences. Any that you can think of, Morgan, that I've missed? I mean, other than the fact that black wildebeest are cooler. I think they're much more hardcore looking. I think that's about it. Oh, and their noises are different. That's a big one. Thank you. That male reminded me that sounds like a very unimpressed moan. That is the alarm call and the kind of call that the wildebeest make when they're feeling a little uncomfortable. Like a really deep sigh. And then they have a high-pitched chirp like a bird. It's very odd, where the blue wildebeest sounds more like it has the hiccups. And it sneezes for an alarm call. Very odd difference, that one. Oh, they look so cool. There's something very special about a black wildebeest. They just fascinate me. Now, it's interesting, size-wise, just to give you a quick comparison. So a big male like that one that's standing right in the center there, looking around, he would weigh about 180 kilograms. If you compare that to a blue wildebeest, a smallish female of a blue wildebeest will weigh about 180 kilograms. So the small female of a blue wildebeest is the same size as a big male of a black wildebeest. So quite a big size difference. Top cat, he looks so proud. He's standing looking very hardcore, showing himself off, all the mohawks standing up. They really are quite stunning animals. Oh, look at the fluff on the nose. I can never get over that. What purpose would that serve? I mean, we've got a lot of theories, of course. One of them would be protection. You don't want anything touching your nose. That, you know, it's a sensitive area, so it would pick up anything that's moving close by to your face, but hopefully your eyes would have done that too. So it's interesting. Is it just for looks? Is it to make them look intimidating and a bit bigger? Maybe. Maybe it's supposed to make them look more impressive to each other. Also possible. Maybe it's a combination of all of the above, plus a very unique fashion sense. Love it. All right, I think we are going to carry on and see if we can figure out where on earth these cheetahs might be. We'll leave the wildebeest looking loud and proud up there. And we'll send you over to Andrew in Madikwe to see what's happening in the northwest.
Good plan, Tess. Good luck on that plan, finding some cheetahs. Any sign of the black-footed cats again out there? I'd love to hear an update on that. But yeah, updates on our side, fairly quiet. We're actually making our way slowly but surely towards Chikuma, which should take us about another half an hour. Yeah, we left that area where the female cheetah was last seen. There was no movement, no sign, so we're still in the block. So yeah, we'll leave it for now. Just a nice little sneaky road that we found here, and by judging by the vehicle tracks on the road, in brackets there are none, tells us that this road is not frequently used at all, and it is on the map. And the rule on the reserve is that if the road is on the map, then it's a usable road, and if it's not a usable road, then they should either close the road or remove it from the map. But some of these sneaky roads you have to be careful of. Yes, there's plenty of cool things that you could maybe see. But because people use it, sometimes the branches grow a bit close to the vehicle. And now this is a sickle bush thicket. So small branches that, you know, go over the road. Sometimes you drive over them with your tire. We're lucky. We haven't had any flat wheels, but we did have to fix a slow puncture that was, gotten somehow. But anyway, we've been very good with the tires, touch wood, and no flat wheels this time, and no flat wheels the last time I was here. But man, I saw one vehicle out here. It's a game viewer. It probably has over 200 plugs in it. Well, that's what it seemed like. Lots and lots of plugs. Nice little road in this little thicket with the ringneck dove calling in the background. And this is a type of a road where maybe you could see leopard. It's quiet. It's very bushy out here. Judging by all the footprints that I've seen and the active middens of impala, there's a fair amount of prey in here, close to the water. Oh, myself personally, no, I don't do any bushwalks, but the guides out here do, yes. So, yeah, this is actually a good piece of information, just to give you insight as to, you know, what guides need to do to be legal guides on a reserve. So here at Madikwe, now let me just get this right. Yeah, so here at Madikwe, the guides, when they apply for a job here, whatever the case may be, they need to have a Trails Guide qualification, which is an add-on to the Fagaza qualification level 1, which is sort of your introduction into the bush, field guide status. But to become a trails guide, you need to have level 2. So they are looking for guides who have got trails guide, means that they've gotten to a certain level within their career, and they are liable or able to walk on foot, provided that they have a trails guide qualification, which is actually very intense. That comes in a lot of parts to achieve this qualification. But anyway, and then on that, they need to go to the shooting range, and they do quick test, rapid fire, and things like that, just to keep their eye in. And only once they've passed the Madikwe jungle lane, and a traditional jungle lane is, yeah, it'll be like a river, a dry river, and then you'll have targets in the river, and the whole idea is you're walking people, and then you have animals that are acting aggressively towards you, and you need to deal with that within the law. Just only shooting at a certain distance if you have to, and if you shoot anything further, you can actually be seen to be liable because the animal could still run away. So it's a very intense qualification, the jungle lane, and if they have passed that, then they will be allowed to walk, yes, out here on Madikwe Game Reserve. And then one eye does deteriorate, and therefore you need to, you know, keep your practice in. So I believe once a month or something like that, they need to fire a certain amount of rounds, yeah, once a month, just to be refreshed. Now, don't get me wrong, the idea is not to shoot animals, not at all. The idea behind these exercises is to prove yourself that you are able to defend your guest given a terrible situation. So yeah, just a little bit of insight as to what guides need to do, and so we're going to take in time and see what he's up to.
Thank you, Andrew. And I am sitting at Baobab Dam. What a beautiful scenery that we have right here. Lovely cloud cover and makes it look so beautiful. There's like a huge kind of open area in the sky, in the clouds. And of course you can see that sun is just coming through that whole, yeah, beautiful, and the beautiful rays that's coming down. Oh, isn't that stunning? And I know that tomorrow is going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Perfectos. And I think that's exactly what the animals are waiting for. They're waiting for this stunning day to start up. As you can see, at least we've got some nice hippopotamus here in this dam, in Baobab Dam. So of course Baobab Dam is on a property called Buffelshoek. So it's just north of a Djuma property. There's always a nice pod of hippos that hang around in this dam. There's quite a few of them. I think yesterday I counted, I think it was about 8 or 9 of them that's inside of this water. Of course, they are just waiting patiently, enjoying still a little bit of a snooze for the rest of the day until that sun starts setting and gets much darker, and they'll start venturing out. Sharissa, do hippos Consume any aquatic plants. Yes, so Sharista, if there is, apparently I've seen it before with certain reeds as well around the river areas. They will feed on the little like young shoots of the reeds itself. So sometimes I'll move into those thick reed beds and move around there and feed on the little shoots, as well as water cabbage as well. So water cabbage is almost like a hyacinth, and you'll find that sometimes they'll also feed on that. That's if it's available. But other than that, they're very selective grazers. They won't just go and start feeding on anything. It's not like an elephant that will consume pretty much any kind of grass, leaves, roots. And of course, you'll find the hippos are a little bit more selective on their grass species that they enjoy. So things like signal grass. Now, common signal grass is a very, very palatable grass, the same as your broadleaf curly grass, one of those grasses as well that a lot of the grazers do enjoy quite a bit. Now, talking about broadleaf curly grass, if you go into areas like Satara, those big grasslands, and you'll find all those zebras and wildebeest around there. That's exactly the broadleaf curly grass. It exists quite a bit in those big savanna grassland areas. But yeah, for these hippos, they'll venture out here. Sometimes they've got their little spot inside of the bush where they pretty much comfortable with the grass species that's inside there, and then they will every night will go into that little area, feed on that little bit of grass, and then come back early morning back into the water. William, yeah, look, the hippo calves will remain behind if the mother goes grazing. Depends on the age of the hippo calf. You know, once they start getting to a certain age, from about 2, 3, 4 years old, and they start venturing with mom, but not far, then mom won't go deep into the bush. It's just safety reasons. You must understand, you know, she doesn't want to pretty much put the calf at risk with being attacked by lions or something like that. So she won't go too far, or she'll leave the calf in the dam itself, and she'll go and graze around the dam area, and then she won't leave, you know, she won't venture too far from the water edge. But yeah, that does happen. But I think most of these calves that are situated here in Baobab Dam, I think they all really are much above at least 4 or 5 years old. The amazing, Andrew was talking about bushwalks and all that. And I remembered when I was working at Arethusa, and we used to do the bushwalks from the lodge. And I'm one of those guys, I don't like sticking to the road, so I'll take animal paths. And sometimes what I'll do, because there was a big dam in front of Arethusa, so what I'll do, and there was so many hippos in that dam. So when I go on bushwalk, of course, all the hippos now being back at the, in the water. When I go on the bushwalk, I'll actually choose a hippo path and walk with it, and you actually find in the middle of the block, you'll see this little big kind of, almost how can I say, a mowed down area, and you can see exactly where the hippos pretty much go every night for a to go and graze in that little section. So it was quite fascinating to see that. But yeah, you got to make sure that there is no hippos that's still on that pathway, of course, and that'll be not a good thing. Got to keep your eyes peeled. Count the hippos. See how many has returned back to the dam. Line 8, yes, it is quite nice to see the eyes and ears and nostrils all above the water, so they are built perfectly for the water. So they don't have to raise the entire head out of the water, they can just pop the top part of their head out the water, and then they can hear, see, and smell at the same time, and breathe, of course. I don't see anything else coming down now.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
To become a skilled safari guide, traversing the African bush and encountering wild animals up close. Whether you're a retiree, a recent graduate, or a professional seeking a change, the 55-day eco-training program is for you. This comprehensive course will provide you with an unparalleled opportunity to gain expertise in every aspect of the African bush. With the coaching of experienced training guides, you'll embark on an unforgettable adventure that will give you a deep understanding of wildlife, conservation, and African cultures. Over the course of the program, you'll learn essential skills such as animal tracking, bird identification, and bush survival techniques. But the benefits of this rigorous training go far beyond technical knowledge. You'll also form close bonds with fellow nature enthusiasts and conservationists from around the world, creating a global network of like-minded individuals. Your days will be filled with excitement and wonder as you observe animals in their natural habitats and explore the diverse landscapes of Africa. Return home with newfound knowledge, a qualification, unforgettable memories, and a sense of accomplishment that will last a lifetime.
Well, we left June after much debate. I told her I'm not babysitting. It's her child. June and Junebug left. But naturally, Junebug will come running back to the den at some point. But today is actually a special day. It's my grandmother's 90th birthday. Both my grandmothers on both sides are 90. Happy birthday, Nana! She's not watching, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Isn't that remarkable? 90 years old. I don't have any grandfathers, but my grandmothers are 90. Remarkable. Anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge that because I think it's very special. She'll go to 100, I'm sure of it. And now we won't get awards from the Queen anymore. It'll be from the King. Oh, times have changed. Anyway, I am concentrating on seeing what else I can find. I know there's more to come. It's been a really lucky day. The lizard, the owlet, the hyenas. The battalier, Batavia. Yes. And it's all those little things that add to your safari. It's not just obviously finding the big things, but naturally we want to find them too. We want to find everything. But I think we've done not bad. Reptile, bird, mammal. Now I need to find a fish and then an amphibian. And then we can tick them all off out here, and an insect too. Now we do have a bird, a cold looking bird, but one that I do think is going to sit still for us just up here. Johan, a lilac-breasted roller. The colours don't shine so much when the sun isn't out. Colour is an illusion in our life. You just look a bit drab and we know that you're not drab. You're one of the most colourful birds. Yes. It's amazing what light can do. A little bit of sunshine out here. It transforms everything. But everything does look rather cold. There's patches of blue sky, but I mean, the sun didn't burst through. This is the essence of a winter day for sure. Joshua, you're asking, do any birds change color? I think I missed part of that question. They don't change color, but some birds very much grow a breeding plumage. So some birds can be quite drab and quite dull, and when it really comes into breeding season, they will change their plumage. And when they're ready to mate, then they will become much brighter and elaborate and very fancy in their movements and their calls and their dances, because of course they're trying to attract mates. So yes, they do change colour that way, but of course first they have to get rid of the old plumage, the old feathers, go through a molt, and then they'll develop the breeding plumage. The starlings out here are remarkable because they're really black. But that amazing sort of iridescence that we see, that is just mind-blowing, is, I guess, what we could call an illusion. We see that iridescent colour because of what is called Tyndall scattering. And it's a phenomenon really where the way that the feathers are layered and positioned, they reflect light differently, and it makes that black bird actually look shiny and glossy and iridescent. But it's all to do with the reflection and the refraction of light. So the feathers will have sort of different structures that maybe we can't see with our eye, but it'll all be due to the buildup of keratin, which is what feathers are made up from, and air pockets. And it's actually the air pockets that interfere with the light and scatter blues and greens. And that scattering is what we refer to as Tyndall scattering. Remarkable phenomena. And when you think of starling, you just don't think of a blackbird. It's not what comes to your mind. I do just want to quickly play the owlet call. The owlet's not here. That's fine. I did promise that I would play it. I'm sure you can all hear that. It's quite a iconic call. You can't miss it, and it's also quite... I mean, it's quite repetitive. It really drills into you, but it's also lovely at the same time, and that's the call of the little owlet that we saw earlier. Okay, roller. You keep on a-rolling, and we're gonna keep bumbling. Sometimes the rollers are so relaxed, they don't even fly away. Kelvin, my top 5 items. My goodness. My coffee flask, but that's only for the morning. I wouldn't have that in the afternoon. Too much coffee for me is really not a good idea. So coffee in the morning, but in the afternoon, a big flask of water. It's really important to drink water. My binos. My Kindle, just in case we're at a sort of really long sighting and we're just relaxing. I've got all my books on there, all my information on there. Oh, no need to show that box, Johan. Sun cream. And sunglasses, and then all my books. And I did show all my books the other day, so I won't show them again, but there is a lot of books in here. It's actually crazy how much books I travel with. So they're my top 5 items plus my books. I just don't like going anywhere without my books, really. It just would not do that. So these are the most important things for me. Sun cream I don't go anywhere without. Binos. Kindle, I guess that's a personal choice, but sometimes we set excitings for a really long time and it's nice to just sit and read. Since I'm not allowed to buy any more books. Darby bought me a Kindle and he said you buy them electronically because there is no more space for all my books. Which I understand. I love a book though, but the Kindle's wonderful. It's really wonderful. It's small, it's portable, you can take it anywhere. I'm not trying to advertise here, it makes a lot of sense if you're an avid book reader like I am. It's nothing like losing yourself in a book. And there are some really fantastic books about nature and our natural world as well that are not your guidebooks, if that makes sense. Guidebooks are great, absolutely. If you want to be a guide, you must read them. But there are other books that really talk about the most unique things in our natural world, and that's probably the books that I've learned the most from. Okay, we're going to keep bumbling. We're going to send you guys over to Cedric.
Thanks, Lauren. Yes, we have just picked up on a beautiful herd of elephants. Slowly moving into Buffelshoek. But there's about maybe 7 or 8 of them. Sounds like there might be more a little bit further east of us. So how nice is to have this herd of elephants. There was a youngster now with this female that we see in picture now. There's a young one in there, but you can't see it. It's so small. It's pretty much been engulfed by this all these grasses around here. I think you can just see his ears there. Oh, look at that there, you can just see his ears. He must just come out now for us. Of course, feeding on all these beautiful round leaf teaks. Little shrubs or little bushes. Actually a tree, not really a bush. It's a tree. So round leaf teaks, I do get up to these big trees, but before they even can get to a normal size. As you can see, the round leaf, before they can even get to a normal sized tree, elephants would actually break little branches off, and they will pretty much put the branch in their mouth, and then they'll roll it around, and of course with those big molars of theirs, will strip off all the bark and the cambium layer, and that's what they will feed on. They won't actually eat the inside of it, or hardly ever actually feed on the leaves itself, mainly just the stem, or just the outside of the stem itself, or the branch. She's trying to get there. You can see she's working something there. You can see just moving from side to side. Oh, yeah, using that front left leg again. As you can see, she's really trying to, I think she's trying to get some roots out from the ground.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room, with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
See, she's got that piece now. Now you'll see her rolling it around in her mouth, you know. Sometimes maybe consuming the entire thing, but most times I'll just roll it around and just grabbing the outside of it, outside layer. Fortunately, the silver cluster leaf is in the way. I can't go any more forward. If I go a little bit more forward now, it'll get pretty much be pushed behind another tree. So nice to see elephants again, well, especially a herd.
I'm happy to hear that you're having a good time there, Cedric, with those elephants. Yeah, your energy and definitely the animals around you definitely show it that you have amazing energy. So keep it up. So we're here at a place that we've never been able to show you before because on previous occasions we had signal issues, but not today. So here we are. This is the infamous Leopard Rock. A very nice little spot this. Myself and Mpho, a few weeks ago, we were driving not far from here, and then Dwayne, one of the guides at one of the lodges here, called in that he had a lioness on top of that very rock. So we were not far. Within 3-4 minutes, we were here after we asked him permission if we can come up, and of course he gave it. So 3 or 4 minutes, we were here, and she had already crawled down the rocks and disappeared over the top area of this kopje or this rocky outcrop. So we just missed it, but we drove past the guests and you could just see the joy on their faces that they've seen a lion on the rock overlooking the beautiful bushveld of Madikwe. And it's sort of that fairy tale moment that's how you imagine to see a lion on top of the kingdom overlooking. And that's really cool. So we stopped next to them and we even remarked to them and we said, that must have been an amazing view. And shame, the one guest at the back, it looked like she was in an emotional state. She wasn't crying or anything, but you could see that was really, it hit close to home for her. And that's what nature does. And maybe that lioness is not here, but that rock has got a cool story to tell, that at least one time that it's known about, a lioness has been up there just relaxing. Imagine what else has done that there. If that very rock could tell stories, wow, I would read that book over and over again. Beautiful, just beautiful. And then again, this is also not far from the area where I think it was a male leopard that was seen about 2 weeks ago in this area. A male leopard was seen. And also we tried our luck, but we couldn't get there in time. We were just too far. And so it disappeared, but also not far from this area. So I'm sure that leopard has probably come on top here. Oh, I can hear a chin spot batus calling in the back there. And 3 blind mice. Yeah, Cindy D, that's something that I've imagined for so many days out here is, hearing that there's something like a leopard on that rock. Or a lioness, like with what Dwayne had with his guests, a very special moment. Yeah, no, and for photographers, wow. Everybody's dream, and I'm sure for the cam ops as well, guys like Mpho and BK and Owen and Gert, Panda. Excuse me if I'm missing any other names, but also their idea of framing up something on a beautiful rock like this and telling a story. Not sure if you can hear that, but there's a chin spot batus, the three blind mice bird calling. Such a small little bird and such a pronounced call. 3 blind mice. Chin spot batus. Now, just to the right-hand side of that big rock, I'm sure that's a fig tree of sort here. And there's actually an area here in Madikwe where there's a fig tree really hugging this rock. And that is just so magnificent to see that trees are able to penetrate rock and use it as a substrate to survive. Incredible. Maybe examples like rock figs and so on. Probably originally planted by a bird through its droppings. Aha, so get wind now that Tess has had lots of luck with her cheetah. So I'm going to send you over to Amakar. Let's go and take a look.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. So much luck on this side. We are exceptionally happy. It's no wonder the wildebeest were uncomfortable. The 3 male cheetahs are indeed around. They're relaxing in the shade. It is a lovely, warm, peaceful afternoon. The wind has died completely and it's nap time. It's perfect. It's great for all 3 male cheetahs to just be hanging out, enjoying the shade. Now, to give you an idea of where the wildebeest were that we saw, I'm going to ask Morgan to show you the mountain that we saw them on, because we can actually see it perfectly from where we are with the cheetahs. And the wildebeest, remember, they were looking at us. Now, that ridge that you can see literally just behind the bushes, that is where the wildebeest were. So they were just on top there. In fact, you might actually be able to see 1 or 2 silhouettes. Maybe they're still around. We were parked just at the bottom there, and they kept looking over and looked very, very, very uncomfortable. There they are. So we were sitting around going, they know something is up. I think they knew that the cheetahs had moved through and they weren't quite sure where they were. They have relaxed a bit now, probably because the breeze has died down, so they can't smell the cheetahs anymore as much as they could. But they're still all the way over there. We were just at the bottom and we're in a perfect line of sight from those wildebeest where they were looking at us, straight line to where the cheetahs are relaxing down here in the shade. How impressive is that? So these animals have the most incredible senses. And this cheetah is actually watching over towards those wildebeest, probably thinking about how tasty one of them would be for dinner. So it just shows you, we might not know that there's animals around, but the animals know that there are other animals around. Cindy D, thank you so much. I actually can't take the credit for this one, unfortunately. We were about to come up this way, just when we finished with those wildebeest, actually. We were about to come up this way and we bumped into another vehicle, and so there were 2 of us in the area, and we said we were going to come up, and he said, okay, cool, I'll come up that way as well. So we decided to divide and conquer. I let him come up this side, and we went over the ridge to the right. And he found them. So if I'd stuck with my original plan, I would give myself the credit, but unfortunately I gave it to him. Now you will hear there's another vehicle coming to join us. Everyone's very happy to see the 3 boys because they've been hiding for the last 2 days. It's very nice to know that they are out and about and half awake. Or they were half awake anyway. Now it's sleep time. Those spots are standing out so boldly in the shade there. But you can clearly see why they would be so well camouflaged, how you could quite easily miss these 3 if you're driving past and not concentrating, especially if they're in the shade. They blend in exceptionally well. Hey boys. Now it's very hard to tell if they have eaten or not. I have absolutely no idea. Because when they lie down like this, you can see he looks quite rounded, but he's got a pretty big rib cage as well. He's very lightweight, but his rib cage takes up a bit of space. And when he's lying like that, everything is kind of cramped together, so it can be quite deceiving. The best way to tell a cheetah's condition is if it's standing up. And then you have a look at the overall form and see whether or not the belly is hanging down at all. Normal shape of a cheetah would be a very cinched in belly, so the just behind the rib cage goes right back up towards the hips and tail. It gets very hollow, and that's not considered skinny or hungry in a cheetah. That's considered normal. With these 3, we're more used to seeing them look like they swallowed beach balls. Darcy Miller, I'm so happy that we've made your day. We knew that you would be happy. It's always a good day when we get to catch up with the 3 amigos, the 3 young male cheetahs. Oh, are there flies irritating you, boy? It is interesting, we've noticed a lot more insects out this afternoon than there have been in the last week. Maybe the cold gave them a kickstart this morning. So I think the cheetahs are going to have a hard time controlling the flies. Now, if you aren't familiar with these 3, welcome to the coalition. This is probably the most well-known coalition of cheetahs in the Eastern Cape, if not majority of South Africa, believe it or not, and that's all thanks to us being able to follow them. But they are incredible boys. They're about 2.5 years old, and they are shooting way above their pay grade in terms of the kills that they are making. So on average, cheetah coalitions are much more successful than individual cheetahs. Only the males form coalition. There has been 1 or 2 rare instances of joining together to raise cubs, but that is quite an extreme circumstance and definitely not the norm. But for the boys, this is the norm. They are going to have each other's backs always, and the only thing that might separate them would probably be death, which we're hoping is a ways off. But for these 3, being about 2.5 years old, they should be hunting things like maybe kudus at a stretch, and instead they're hunting the largest antelope in South Africa, the eland. They've had 2 in the last 2 weeks.
Chatting around a fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of WildEarth's Fireside Chats.
It's always a solid laugh when we're talking about all things wardrobe. The cheetahs have a very diverse wardrobe. I mean, they're always wearing spots, which, that'll never change. But every now and then they decide the wardrobe they should have when it's cold is just each other. They just kind of wear each other. They're all over each other. Today. It's not going very well, Morgan. On days like today, there we go, I got it out eventually. On days like today, their wardrobe is much more sparse. It's just their own normal coats without actually cuddling. No cheetah cuddle puddle today. It's nice and warm. We're almost to 20 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's the warmest day we've had in weeks. It's very exciting. Oh, cheetah boys, you made us work hard the last few days. Finally, we get to say that we can spend time with them. It's been long enough of searching. I think we deserve the reward.
We've made our way to one of the dams here, and just in the corner of the dam we have this most splendid sight of kudu coming down to drink in this beautiful light as the sun is beginning to set. And that's so lovely because we very seldomly see kudu out here. There they go. You do see them from time to time, don't get me wrong. They're not what can I say, an uncommon species of animal to be found here. No, that's not the case at all. The case is that they are just so well hidden in here. And they need to be. Wow, with the mahiwas and the rest of the prides out here, they really need to be careful. Wild dogs as well. And in some waterholes, even crocodiles. Spotted hyenas as well. Get that quick drink and off they go. Sorry, I just need to answer this quickly. Standing by, WildEarth.
Afternoon. Can I join you?
Absolutely, you're welcome to.
Copy, thank you.
Okay, so. Yes, AFM, more than welcome. Okay, just a little bit of radio communication. So what happened now is, and I like this rule about Madikwe, is because, you know, waterholes are often a source of life. And so, where was I going with this? And so, because there's, you know, usually elephants at the dams and things like that, here at Madikwe, you treat the dam as if it's an animal there all the time, just to avoid too much vehicles coming in. But anyway, Tess is losing sight of her cheetah. Let's head off there.
It is definitely a very different system of approaching dams, but I'll tell you what, I really like it. I really do. On this side, we're spending our last little bit of time with the 3 male cheetahs before we make space for the next vehicle. Because they've been so hard to find in the last couple of days, people are desperate to see them, and we are not going to stand in the way of that. We want to share them with as many people as possible. So I'm happy that so far we've been able to spend a little bit of time with them and show you. Because who doesn't love the 3 male cheetahs? They're amazing. It seems we've gone into full-on catnap mode, camouflaged in the shade, and nobody is looking around for prey. They're just relaxing. Dark mane lover, yes, they are at the perfect age to start mating. These 3 are around 2.5 to just under 3 years old, and that is the perfect age for cheetah coalitions, but for male cheetahs in general to be sexually mature. On average, any time between 2 to 3 years old is when cheetahs become sexually mature. However, in males, it's more likely that they'll only mate between, say, 3 and 5 years old to a maximum of maybe 6 years old. For these 3, though, I feel like it might be a bit longer, because they are really, really successful. They've done so well that I don't think that they're going to have short lives, that's for sure. Because the harsh reality of cheetahs is, unfortunately, the age in captivity is really good, but the age in the wild is fairly low. And male cheetahs, okay, coalitions are more likely to survive, but male cheetahs, if they're on their own, barely make it past 6 years old. In a coalition, they'll be lucky if they get to about 8. But I have a feeling these 3 are going to push that they might push the norm and get a bit older. Females survive a little bit longer, so maybe up to about 8 or 9. But at a maximum, cheetahs in the wild normally reach severe maximum, maybe 10 years old. But they are at the perfect age for breeding at the moment, or mating. And it's interesting, because they're in a coalition, they'll have an existing dominance hierarchy that they can fight, and the most dominant male cheetah is usually the one to, and so he might actually break away from the coalition to go and follow a female around, which is exactly what happened 2 weeks ago. One of the males went off on his own, and then the other 2 followed about a day later. But it's a very quick process in cheetahs. It's usually maybe 24 hours worth of the male and female being together, and they only mate once every 8 hours or so. So it's not like lions that's every 15 minutes for 3-4 days. It's literally a 24-hour ordeal, and in those 24 hours it maybe happens 3 times. So it's a much quicker affair. But these three, I don't know, I feel like they're a little different. That being said, we don't really get to spend that much time with cheetah coalitions anywhere else, and especially not consistently. So it's actually an absolute privilege to be sitting here with them and to be able to follow them quite closely through their growing up phases. They're now officially adult cheetahs, adult males in a very successful coalition. Very impressive. I must be honest though, I'm still not used to them looking like cheetahs. Normally they're just really spotted beach balls. That's probably why nobody spotted them earlier, because they're so flat in the grass and we can't see these huge bellies protruding from gorging themselves on anything in sight, that they just blend in. Normally we see the stomachs from about 1 kilometer away, they're so big. Oh, Dina Kay, they really have come so far. You know, watching them grow up in the last little bit and seeing how many times we've had them trying to hunt. And they've been beaten up by warthogs and nearly kicked by zebras and chased off by eland. And it's just been chaos. It's been chaos. And now all of a sudden they seem to have found their niche. They've found their strengths. They are absolutely thriving. They're getting bigger by the day, it seems. They're widening beautifully now that they've become mature. And they really, really just seem to have ironed out exactly how they want to hunt. To take down 2 eland, this is not an easy task. An eland weighs anywhere from 450 to 950 kilograms, and these 3 have taken down 2 in the last 2 weeks, so they've definitely got it sorted now.
Attention all nature enthusiasts and budding safari rangers. Get ready for an epic showdown in the wild. From July 30th to August 1st, witness our skilled rangers competing head-to-head, racing to identify the most animal species. Only one will be crowned king or queen of the ranger race. Don't miss your chance to be part of this thrilling adventure. Jump on board and join the race.
Heart is pumping right now.
I wonder where the others are. Is it just the 2 of you? But remember, even if mother and calf sort of separate a little bit from the herd, they can still communicate. They'll know exactly where the herd is, or which direction they're moving, or where they're heading. They're never completely separated. Remember, the herd's behind us. That makes a lot more sense. The herd is here. They're actually the leaders, not the followers. Yes, Darren, the size difference is incredible. It's amazing when you see a newborn calf, how tiny it is compared to what it's going to grow into. It's still a big baby compared to a human baby, but, you know, they're just so small compared to the adults.
Now, the kurus, they have left, they drank water and quickly dashed off, but replaced by a beautiful, beautiful sunset. And it's just getting better. That's the best part about it. So it's dipping very, very quickly. And looks so beautiful. And the more it dips, then the further up it goes in the reflection of the water. So that also moves. So it's a double move. That's pretty cool. With the ripples of the water in between. That's pretty cool. Very special dam, this. And I was just thinking the other day, when I was young, I would say probably from the age of, I would say between 14 and 18 years old, I was very serious about fishing. I mean, from those 4 years or 5 years of my life, everything, absolutely everything revolved around fishing. And whenever I came to holdings of water like this, or dams, or ponds, or rivers, the first thought that would always come to my mind is, it would be so nice to put a line in there. And every now and then I used to get it right. I used to get permission, or I used to sneak there and then put a line in the water. And yeah, get rewarded once in a while with a catch. Those catches were very far and few between, I won't lie. But when those catches came, they were sweet. Mina, yeah, the sunsets out, yeah, definitely is a special part of the day. It really, really is. Yeah, if I always thought to myself, well, I never always thought to it, I've sort of just thought about it. But if I ever became a president of a country, I would probably never get away with this, but if I ever became a president of a country, I would switch off all television from a certain time to a certain time and make it mandatory for everybody to go and just enjoy the sunset. So everybody must go into their lawns at a certain time of the day and just watch the sunset. That would never work, of course. But yeah. Now I can hear some Egyptian geese calling out here. Oh, they're always out here. The Egyptian geese do very well. There's also a pair of grey herons that just flew by. And every now and then we hear, I think it's the Birchall sandgrass. And they actually come into this water, and they walk up to the shore, and they dip their bodies into the water, their breasts. And it absorbs the water. And they fly back to the nest, and they actually feed the chicks the water. It's very interesting, sandgrass. I've seen them do that. And I've seen them also flying before with the water on their chest. It soaks up like a sponge. No crocodile today that I can see, but definitely in here. This would be a perfect place for a hippopotamus, but I think they're really enjoying the river. The river is very healthy and quite deep, and perfect habitat for hippo. I think we've seen hippo twice while we've been here. We hear them a lot. But you never know, one day we'll wake up and a hippopotamus will surprise us and be in the water, because they always do that. They do walk from waterhole to waterhole sometimes. Sometimes bulls get chased out and they've got no choice but to find another place of refuge. That sunset is getting very close to the top of that hill now. Top Cat, I didn't notice that. Yeah, it does look fractured. Yeah, and there will never be a sunset like this ever again. The water will never be rippling in the same way. It's a unique life that we all have out here, and yeah, to see every day we wake up, for as long as we do what we do, every day is a new day. It's a unique day. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that very much. What is also nice is having that element of not being in full control. Because as humans, it's nature for us to want to be in full control. But when you come into natural environments like Madikwe, or anywhere in South Africa, or anywhere in the world, nature, she runs on her own rules. She doesn't care what car you drive, she doesn't care how much money you make, doesn't care how many rooms in your house you have. Lovely, just about to reach the top there. Maybe once it hits the top of the hill, gravity will take place and then it'll roll down towards that dip in the hill. No, I doubt that'll happen. It would be cool though, cool to catch that. This would be the perfect time to have an African fish eagle fly over, or call, even better yet. The one day we sat out here for about 45 minutes waiting for the wild dogs to hopefully come and drink, because we got reports that they were heading this way with a rapid speed. So myself and Paul, we immediately did a horseshoe and turned around and parked on the other side of the dam wall. And for a straight 45 minutes, our eyes were looking everywhere, because just like that, wild dogs can appear. They never came this way, but just to have us on our toes like that was pretty cool. There we go. There's contact with that hill. And slowly but surely, the next stage of the day sets in, the nighttime. And who knows what we'll see on our way back. Maybe we'll eventually see the civet that I'm hoping to see. Maybe even a brown hyena. There we go, already almost halfway down. Lynn, those rays are powerful. Yes, yeah, they're like laser beams just flowing through the top of the hill there. Yeah, that's a very powerful thing. That sun is so powerful. And as Earthlings, you know, Earth being in the Goldilocks zone, which means that it's not too close to the sun, but not too far away from the sun, allowing a perfect place for life, for trees to form, to grow, to photosynthesize and release oxygen and create an atmosphere. And this is what we have, Earth. All right, so Lauren's got something on a termite mound. Let's go take a look at that.
Mound. No, I'm joking. Look at this. I love it. I love it that elephants pretend to you and they make such a drama that they cannot climb. This little one here has just climbed out quite happily with ease on top of the termite mound. Look at that. I love it. I love it when elephants do something like that. I mean, they're already huge. And then now, although this is a youngster, we're standing on the very top of a termite mound. I'm intrigued to see how he's going to get down. Are we going to be very dramatic about it? Or are we just going to slide down with ease? Sometimes you watch elephants trying to get out a dam, and my goodness, there's a lot of drama. And then you just see them gliding up a copy like a ballerina. I think it depends on the weather. But look at that beautiful lavender color of the sky. This is actually such a nice sighting. Okay, mister, how are you going to get down? Oh. Okay. Possibly not so elegant. Yes, we did get that on video. Wasn't like a ballerina. Now he's embarrassed. But it's okay. Oh, you've got to love the sassy youngsters, honestly. He is cutting across the cut line into Buffalo's Hook, a property we don't traverse, but we'll show you I'm walking away. So they can get up and they can get down. Perfect sunset sighting. Jade, I think you're asking, do they ever dig into termite mounds? Damage. Oh, yes. Yes, there was definitely some damage there. Not necessarily intentionally, but yes, they do. They stand on them, they climb them, they kick them. They'll also yank out vegetation in summer that's growing from the termite mound. So yes, they absolutely do. There was damage done to that one. But it's definitely not intentional, as in, I'm going to damage this termite mound. Okay. I think we have lost our little youngster there. Oops, sorry, Johan, that was my fault. Put my foot on the brake. Dearest Wendy and her immobilizer. There we go. I am on the northern cut line now, and I just want to see if we can get lucky. It's been a lucky day. A lucky day so far. So talking of luck, let's see how Cedric's getting on.
Yeah, no. Good luck, Lauren. Good luck, good luck, good luck. And I'm now back around on the northern side of our camp. I'm still following up on that leopard that was around Vuyatila camp here this morning. I haven't seen any tracks going out, so I'm thinking maybe it's still somewhere in the drainage line. But now we're in the perfect time of the evening for leopards and lions, and that's to start moving around more so. So exactly my plan is to see if we are going to have that luck tonight. Yes, let's see. I heard earlier that Lauren was talking about things that she needs, like almost like, how can I say, necessities to take out on a game drive that she needs to take with her. And well, I fully agree about the first one. I think that is definitely a important thing to take with. That is coffee. A flask of coffee. Oh yes, indeed. If you don't take that, And then you feel like you are lost for the day. So I always got my flask out. Owen's got his. I've got mine. Boom, shakalaka. So there it is. We've got our coffee. Very important. Second of all, I feel that I've got to take my gloves. Yes, my gloves. Very important to take with me on drive. It is very important now from 2 days ago. So, and that's Odie's gloves. That's a very skin patterned gloves made out of skin. It looks like your hand, I know. And what else do oh yeah, binoculars. Binoculars is important. I think without binoculars I would be lost, so that's important. And look, I know that I used to have a lot of books and all that, but what I've done, I rather purchased a lot of apps, nature apps on my phone, so I use that in one device. Perfect.
Hi, my name is Claire. WildEarth has been part of this home for many years as it connects us to the bush and the culture that we love and miss so much. I became an explorer so that other people around the world can get to experience the African bush in this unique way as well. I am beyond excited that I was drawn to win the prize at Amakhala Game Reserve for 3 nights. It is truly a dream come true.
Sign up today and you could be the one experiencing it for yourself.
Hello, my name is Maurice. I am from Perth in Western Australia.
Hello, I'm Stéphane. As you can hear, I am French and I'm doing the 35 days online course.
I started watching WildEarth during COVID. I decided that I wanted to study more, and in order to do that, I saw that Eco Training Friedlands was doing courses, and I decided to do the 8-week online theory course at the end of last year.
So the 35 days course, it basically starts with theory online, 3 sessions a week. Very enjoyable. We went really deep into it. Very holistic as well. Really enjoyed it. It goes from insects to stars to obviously your mammals and your birds. I liked the 2 components. It just got me really well prepared before I got here.
Despite my accents and my misunderstandings, Everyone has been very helpful and comprehensive to help me to understand everything.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out on your journey towards becoming a conservationist, our digital courses offer a flexible and accessible way to deepen your knowledge and understanding of the natural world. So why wait? Sign up for an eco-training digital course today. Start your journey towards a more sustainable and connected future today.
Alrighty, I've got as I'm looking at the time, well, we still got perfect time to do an awesome loop. A loop that I want to do, like at this time of the day when it's getting nice and dark now and the predators are out roaming around, or not all predators, but more the nocturnal predators. And I'm thinking I'm going to go down this road and just go down the other road and another road and come back up again. Yes. Zoe's, Rebecca's, that side. So yeah, let's go and do it. I've got a feeling in my toes. I've got a feeling in my fingers. Yep, let's see. Oh, the night is nice and cool. It's actually a pleasant evening. Not as cold as I thought it's going to be. I really thought it's going to be quite nippy, but it's not so bad. Oh, well, we're going to continue. Let's head over to Andrew and see what's happening on his nocturnal search.
Yeah, definitely cooling down this side as well. Here at Madikwe, we've already put some layers on, which is normal for this time of the day. But yeah, just an update from us. We are looking for some of the lions. One of the Mahiwa males was seen along here this morning and still hasn't been found this afternoon. So we reckon they're probably sleeping somewhere here. And this time of the day, yeah, they're going to start moving around. And if we're going to look for them, this is going to be the time, because they could easily walk over the road here. So yeah, keep those fingers crossed. But yeah, Cedric, answered an interesting topic there about top 5 things to take that he takes. I would say the same. I don't leave without gloves. I'm not wearing them now, but yeah, gloves is 1. Coffee flask is 2. Then I can't ever forget Morris's nopkiri that he made me, number 3. What's number 4? Binoculars. And then I would say number 5 is going to be my Leatherman on my side here. So yeah, those are definitely things to go without. Even though the nopkiri is still quite new, I'm going to definitely add that to my top 5 to have with me when I go out. I see Lauren likes to carry a lot of books with her. That's really cool. Very, very cool. I used to do that. I used to carry a tracking book and a birding book and a mammals book at all times. You know, it's always good to go back and show, you know, the tracks and things like that. But the minute you get caught up in the very first rainstorm, it is going to get water in there and they're all gone. So yeah, it's tragic how many bird books and things I've gone through over the years. I don't know what it is. The pages stick together when they get too moist. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, Cedric's got a good point. Keeping an app with birding on it, that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, technology makes it easy nowadays. You don't have to lug around a book anymore if you don't want, I guess. Oh man, I'm just pretty much daydreaming about having this moment when I spot the lion and there it is, and then show all of you and then let the other guides know who are currently searching as well. He's over here, and then contributing to the sightings on Madikwe. That would be cool. Nice. It's a perfect time of the night now. You never know what nocturnal critter is gonna pop out of the road, whether it be caracal or civet or porcupine. Funny, we haven't seen too many porcupines. We haven't seen any. I haven't even seen a porcupine call, I don't think. Did we see porcupine calls, Mpo? Not even one. Doesn't mean they're not here. They could still very well be here. Yeah. You've seen klipspringer a few times. That's pretty cool. Small little antelope that's very dainty, lives on the rocks, hops around, makes it look so effortless and so easy. Yeah, they're pretty cool to see out here. Yeah. So speaking about that time of the night, and nighttime has kicked in, and Tess has got a nocturnal critter for you. Wonder what that is.
Oh, we have just gotten exceptionally lucky. As we drove into a dip in the dune forest, this owl flew up and landed in the tree next to us. It flew towards us. I don't know how we got this lucky, but we did. It's quite a large owl. It looks like potentially a Cape eagle owl because it's got those very distinctive black markings coming down the side of the face on either side of the eyes, and those little ear tufts as well. Looks like it's looking around quite a lot. It is wanting to hunt, most likely. It's got very distinctive little spotty markings down the chest. It would have bright orange eyes, but we can't see that because we're in infrared, of course, but you can definitely see the eyes are quite big. And it's showing off that flexibility in the neck for sure. So it's facing towards us, and yet its head is facing the complete opposite direction. Lolly, you would be able to find these owls during the daytime as well, but you'd have to have very good eyesight because they do hide themselves and they like to stay quite still as well when they are hiding. So they'll find a thicket somewhere with some very nice dense canopy and hide. So this one during the day would be much less active. At night is really prime time, and the reason we spot them at night is because, there it goes, because at night, is it going to perch? It's perched on the next one, but much further away. I don't think that'll help us, though. We might just see a silhouette. But what they do, and it's just given us a prime example, it flies from one tree to the next, preferably without canopy, sits right at the top, and uses that as a height advantage to try and spot prey. During the day, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be in a tree with very dense foliage or vegetation, and it's going to be hiding to try and keep itself safe. So you can spot them, you're just not likely to unless you have really good eyesight, or maybe it moves or for some reason is active out of its usual time. Now, I don't want to try and move forward as much as I would love to get a lot closer. We're going to have to deal with the silhouette for now because we were lucky enough to catch it at the right time where it was flying up to the same tree we were driving past. However, if we now approach it and it's sitting still, we are getting closer to it where it's just found its comfort zone. It might take that as an uncomfortable situation and it might decide to leave. And I'd rather have a visual of an owl than nothing because, it's an owl. Absolutely amazing. So the eagle owls are obviously quite a large owl family. The biggest includes the Verreaux's eagle owl, which is the largest overall, and that's more likely to be found in places like the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. Cape eagle owl, quite a lot smaller, but absolutely beautiful. Very, very good hunters, probably looking for little rodents. The dune forest in particular is really good for rodents because the rodents here burrow, and the sand is nice and soft with a little bit of shrubbery to hold it in place, so it's the perfect spot for rodents to be burrowing in underground, keeping themselves safe, and nighttime they get pretty active. So this is and perching close to a road as well, very smart, because as the rodents are crossing the road, the owl should be able to spot them. Seems like it's taking its sweet time to really soak in as the light fades, all of the little movements.
How much do you know about what it takes to become a safari guide? How much do you know about being a game ranger? In celebration of World Ranger Day, we are hosting a fireside chat. Come along for some interesting discussions with our naturalists and special guests. From game drives to bushwalks and everything in between, we're unpacking how to become a safari guide. Wild Earth, it's in your nature.
And we have looks like an elephant, but we soon realized that there is a lot more. There's a lot of sounds happening at the moment. So there are elephants that are sort of just to the right of us in the bush. And the only reason why we know this is because we hear this grrr sound. They're not doing it now, but they're communicating with one another. And there seems to be a fair amount of elephant in here. It was amazing just to watch when they were communicating that this very female elephant that you're looking at feeding now, she stopped what she was doing and really gave a listen. Just amazing how well connected they are to one another as a family group. I often wonder to myself, what do they communicate about? And to their understanding, what does it sound like? Their language, so to speak. I think we'd be very surprised if we could get the answer to that, because they are very, very intelligent animals, more so than what I think we know, what we are willing to give credit for. As humans, we often think that we're the smartest. We can read, we can write, we can build things, we can build planes, we can even go to Mars, or not Mars, the moon. But how do you rate intelligence? I know Lauren often touched base in a similar topic, but how do you rate intelligence with wildlife? Very interesting animals. And over the years working with elephants, in the beginning being very, not petrified, not scared, but extremely respectful to them. I still am, but when I first started working around them, I was a little bit nervous around them. They're big animals. They have the ability to push over a vehicle such as this in an instant. But then I soon realized, over the years, that elephants of such wildlife that is so big and so large, that they are so gentle and they really mean no harm. And I think the reason for that is because they're intelligent enough to know that fighting is a primitive thing. There's other ways. It's very respectful to watch how gentle elephants are. And I think each and every one of us on this planet should sort of take on the mindset of elephants, being gentle. Klipspringer, definitely welcome. These are special moments that we spend with you. And yeah, like I say, to be at this time of the day, of the drive, being able to spend a little bit of time with elephants. Yeah, very, very, very special animals. Now, one thing about Pridelands, my experience at Pridelands was, wow, lots of different elephants come in there. It's mind-blowing, especially there at the Ndlovu Dam. How many elephants come through on a daily basis? I think it would be amazing to know. And then places at Madikwe like Clodam. And Clodam, wow, lots of elephants go there, I have no doubt. Beautiful. Now, I just want to remind you all about the survival kit that we're doing. So that's going to happen in a few days, actually. It's on the 27th of July. And Lauren and Cedric are going to be involved in that. And basically, it's just the first hour of the drive. And they'll be completing different challenges with regards to survival. It's going to be nice to learn that. Because out in nature, wow, you get very, what's the word? You improvise. You really do. You see Cedric's got a panga on his vehicle. If a marula tree is blocking the road, he's going to improvise. He's going to chop it up. There's a fork-tailed drongo busy mimicking a pearl-spotted owlet. That's pretty cool. There's fork-tailed drongo is acting very active out there. I think there's a pearl-spotted owlet somewhere around here. Wow, and the green wood hoopoe is also now beginning to call now. So often what happens is when other birds like fork-tailed drongos mimic birds of prey, like owlets, I know they're very small, but an owl is an owl. So they mimic the call, and other birds, they understand that this is what the problem is, and they mimic the call. But not only for that, your fork-tailed drongos can really confuse. Small mammals like meerkats are often mentioned. I hope to see that pearl-spotted owlet before we go. Oh, here comes a young elephant about to cross the road. Looks like a young bull elephant. And there he goes. Just listening to the Natal spurfowl in the distance calling, getting their last minute calls in. They're pretty noisy birds. There was one outside on Paul's room the other day, screaming on the top of its lungs. Lynn, you loving the gentle giants just as much as we are? Yeah, we're loving them as much as you are, should I rather say. Yeah, where we're staying in the south, it's pretty nice because there's a really nice waterhole there. And every afternoon, not so much in the mornings, yeah, sometimes the late mornings, but more the afternoons. Sometimes there are so many elephants there that you can't even cross the road. You have to drive all the way around. Then you drive all the way around and you hope that they haven't walked and blocked that road now, because then you're going to have to drive all the way around again. And if they've gone back and blocked the road again, you're going to have to drive all the way around again. Now, that hasn't happened to us yet, but one of the field guides out here told me the one day he couldn't get out because of the elephants. They kept blocking his way. can barely even see that elephant in the bush there. It's so well blending in there. And it's just hiding behind one thorn bush, or it's just sitting behind one thorn bush, not hiding. It's gently feeding away, enjoying that little spot all to itself with its calf.
Do you sometimes imagine what WildEarth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad reviewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
It's too far to see from here, but yeah, the more I watch this female elephant feeding, the more I wonder how much left of that plant is actually going to be left when she's feeding there. Whatever it is really nice and not really wanting to leave it. Even her calf is coming out to check what's going on. Yeah, I forgot to mention early this morning, Mpho managed to hear a leopard sawing. Yeah, he spotted it or heard it before me. Yeah, just not too far from where we stay here at Madikwe Game Reserve, which was so nice to hear it. So close. One of these days we'll drive out and it'll be drinking at the water hole in front. I have no doubt. I'm waiting for that moment. Not sure if it's a male or female yet. I've actually forgotten how to tell the difference between a male and a female by the call now.
Well, as you know, or if you don't know, I enjoy playing drums. So that's like something that I always used to do when I was young. I used to play drums. I was in a band and drumming was a big thing, and I still enjoy it. I still play a lot of air drums. Oh, there's a hyena in front of us. Well, this hyena's definitely playing drums for me tonight. Hello! And I was thinking, well, how do I make a nice drum here in the bush? And I want to go and look it up, and you actually can grab some banana leaves. And you actually use the banana leaves over a hole that an elephant has dug, and you pin it down with some of the spike thorns, and you can make like a tonga drum using that. Yes, but you have to do it right. Alright, this is a very big hyena, very fat. It might be June. Yeah, it is June. You can see the funny ear. Oh, IR not working. It is June, Jordan. Don't worry. Thanks, Jordan. It is June. 110%. Can't get that floppy left mistaken. So yeah. Oh, there it is. Now it's working. IR working again. IR not working. IR working. IR not working. Alright. Oh, that belly is huge. She looks like she's carrying like a entire meal. IR not working again. IR working, then IR not working. Oh, that is strange. Alright. Sorry about that. We are just having a little... Oh, now it's working. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Alright. Maybe if the vehicle is running it works. When it's turned off, the vehicle, when I turn the vehicle off, it seems like it's not working. Alright, June, where are you? This spotted hyena is now moving north, heading straight towards our camp area. Let me just stop here. Let's see if it's going to work. Is it going to work? Hey, it's working. Hey, it works. Oh, no, it's not. Is it? Oh. There it is. Now it's working. Alright, looks like she's moving away. She's heading towards Philemon's Dip. Alright, let's continue. Nice. We're on Taxons at the moment, and we're heading towards Philemon's Dip, heading north towards our camp area, that open area. She's on quite a bit of a mission.
Africa boasts myriad landscapes. From true forest to true desert. And countless stunning ecosystems in between. The savannas of East Africa are home to nature's most stunning spectacle, the Great Migration. These rolling grasslands are nurseries of abundant life. The woodlands of southern Africa, sometimes verdant and sometimes desiccated, offer the most intimate insight into the lives of the continent's beloved wildlife. Wherever you are in Africa, the scenic majesty will take your breath away.
Apologies, everybody. It seems we may have lost Juma, but don't worry, it seems like we are getting them back. And we will get them very shortly again. I'm sure you noticed on the look of this here shrub in front of you that things can get pretty wild out here in the bush, and that includes sometimes the signal and I'm not playing along. So we do what we can and we hope that we can share it all, but sometimes it doesn't always agree with us. But such is life in the wild, am I right? Otherwise it wouldn't be an adventure. Now we are out nocturnals. We're in one of the big open clearings, central part of Amakhala, and we're looking for the unusual stuff. So we've had the owl, which was really, really good luck, and we thought if that's a good luck charm, I mean, it's the best one we've had so far, aim for something a little different. So we're actually out with striped polecats. How cool would that be? So a striped polecat looks similar to a skunk, a little bit smaller, definitely not as stinky, and quite slender. Kind of a stripy, black and white looking almost weasel. And there is actually a close relative called the African weasel, which looks very similar but is slightly smaller. But either way, we figured maybe if we just aim for the stars, you know, we might find one. Now, I've never seen one in my life. I would imagine a striped polecat would be with their shun, going in thickets, looking for some food. It could be an interesting situation. Imagine if we found one. There's obviously also a million other things on the bucket list. Aardvark, aardwolf, bat-eared fox, brown hyena, black-footed cat, always on the list. But imagine getting an African weasel or a striped polecat. If you haven't seen what they look like, please do yourself a favor and go look it up. They are so cute. I just really, really, really want to see one. So we've been searching really slowly, going past all of the bushes, and I know we chatted about this a little bit last night as well. One of the ways that we find animals here at Amakhala, especially at night, or in an area with thickets, is we stop at these ones if we see, and we spend a bit of time facing towards those shrubs, and we wait and see if anything comes out with the infrared light. And it really is quite impressive, the amount of different things that we have seen. We've seen genets, we've seen, of course, aardwolf as well. But even the black-footed cat, if you just sit quietly, it'll come out and carry on with its life. And that is quite a special thing. Now, out here, it's majority clearing. We found the few little spots on the edge that lead to the dune forest that have a little bit more thicket. So all we're hoping for right now is that randomly we have some eyes popping up in the screen and we end up finding something amazing.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
And that's also why I'm a big fan of naming. Some people are not. They feel you get too attached. Possibly yes, but how can you deny an organism's individuality? and who they are. And I think it is important to name whatever you want to call them, that doesn't matter, but you're identifying them as individuals. And having spent time with all of the hyena clan for hours and hours and hours, I think I've got to know most of their personalities, or at least the way I perceive their personalities. And I adore them all. There's not one single hyena that I don't like, but I just think I've got a really strong bond with Ribbon. It's all on my side, not hers. She doesn't feel that way. But I think I just went through a lot. At the peak of my career, Ribbon was matriarch. And we went through all of that matriarchal sort of overthrow. I mean, it happened in our camp. I was the first to find Ngwazi and Shimbulu at about a day old. So I think if I had to choose, it would be Ribbon. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Look at this. We've got the migration of zebra going across quarantine here, and the wildebeest. We're going to go into infrared now, everyone, so that you guys can see the animals. But our very good old wildebeest is tagging along with the zebras. Have we missed them already? No, they're there. That's hilarious. One night he's with the impala, the next night he's with sort of his own gang, and then now he's hanging around with the zebra. I think I know what you're up to, Mr. Wildebeest. And for those of you that have maybe not heard, Cedric and I will be competing. Oh yes, we will be going head to head for our Day of Survival challenges. I'm a little bit nervous, but that is going to happen on Thursday the 27th on the Sunset Safari, and it will be that first hour of sunset. You guys get to vote who was the best. And some of the challenges that we have to do are going to be, let's just say, entertaining, to say the least. We're going to be inspired by different animals and what they do. So please do join us on Thursday. I'm very competitive, so Cedric, bring it on. Zebra, look at you guys. It's so nice to have actually caught up with them. I mean, we saw them earlier at the start of Drive, and they've obviously ended in the open area, which makes sense because it's safer. They've come to the open area for nighttime. Just like impala do. Exactly the same. Safer, more eyes, more nostrils, more ears, and you can actually figure out what is going on around you. But it might be quite chilly. I hope they're here in the morning. It'll be a lovely scene to wake up to in our morning sort of safari in the open area. And it really was a wonderful drive today, diverse. And from my side, at least, from Team Wendy, we got to see really cool reptiles, Batavia, an owlet, and hyenas, and elephants, a zebra, a giraffe. Oh my goodness, it has been a good one. And Katie, you are saying thank you. You are so welcome. Some days are slow. and can be very frustrating, but some days everything just falls into place, like today, and that's the bush, and I guess that's life. Look at the wildebeest just in the mix, just living life up as a zebra tonight. That's good. I guess it's good that he's not alone. I often feel sad when we just always see our little wildebeest on his own. Tonight you've got friends, stripy ones. But I am very excited about tomorrow. As many of you know, I love sunrise. I do. I just love it. There's so much to see and figure out. It's my favorite drive. But on that note, everyone, I think our zebra may have disappeared. Let's just see if they're still there. Yep, they're still over there in the distance. Maybe we can give you some last views before we end the drive. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on back there, but we may just have to bumble. They are moving off. Okay, thank you everyone for jumping on board, all your comments and questions, and please do join us tomorrow for our sunrise safari. Until then, see you later.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal